Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Good evening. Yeah, sounds good. This is Russell. We're getting ready to start the preview, and sorry we're a little bit late. We're getting going here. We've got quite a set of pigs. We've got a great set of kids that have showed up to help us make this preview happen, and just a couple things, I guess, while we're getting these first two ready to go. The sale starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow, California time. Obviously, it's on Kennedy Ventures CCI Live for bidding. So those guys in the Midwest that are watching, that's 3 o'clock. If you're in Central Time Zone, it's 4 o'clock that the auction starts tomorrow in Eastern Time Zone. We will be on time tomorrow. We won't be late. It will be 1 o'clock on the dot when the auction starts. So we're going to do our best to hold ourselves to that. It's something James Backman, our auctioneer, has been trying to kind of make happen, and we succeeded in December. We did not in January, but we will succeed tomorrow. So just a heads up there. There are a few scratches as you go down the list. We've got sale printouts here. Our weights are very accurate. A handful of scratches that had quality issues come up and we pulled out, but we're very excited about this set of pigs. There's probably as much diversity in this set as what we've had, and please don't hesitate to reach out. We've got our sale contacts listed there. Myself, Dustin Andrews, who's sitting to my right, and Amaya Slave sitting to my left, and then also Preston Alberti, who will be here coming tonight also. These guys are very in-depth, have studied these animals very in-depth, very good at what they do. So if you do not get one of us to try one of the other one of us, we'll definitely get back to you. We've got a lot of folks that have come and traveled a long ways to be here, so we appreciate your patience, but we're very, very excited about what we've got. These first two coming in here are lots 11 and 73. So lot 11 would be the belted gilt here that Palin's driving. She's a Magic Box Endgame. And then lot 73 here is this predominantly black barrel, would be an On the Prowl. Back on, who's his mom? He's On the Prowl. Rusty Cage 125.9. So these guys, we actually had a handful of Novembers that were kind of smaller out of our last sale set, just kind of set them aside, and then we sorted back through those. And these are actually a little bit older pigs than the rest of the set. To be honest, the winning percentage on these little bit older pigs that were maybe small for their age is quite good. It's kind of an advantage to have a little bit older pig, and just gives you just a little more maturity on down the line as the pigs get older. They're just that much stouter, it seems like. Again, this belted gilt here would be lot 11. Magic Box Endgame. Magic Box sired some of the very best pigs in our last sale group. In fact, she's a mate to several of them. I know, like lot 1 and 2 were Magic Box pigs. Some of the very best males we've sold so far this year. This gilt's really good. She's a little greener body, but we think her skeleton's awesome. Really good on her feet and toes. She's extremely square built. Just the kind of pig that's going to get better. Really could probably fit about any scenario that you want her to, whether it be a market show or a jackpot setting, or grow her up and show her as a big gilt. Really, really proud of that one. We think she's going to be a good buy for someone tomorrow. The black pig, again, that's lot 73. He's a barrow. Again, he's an On the Prowl Rusty Cage. On the Prowl did a nice job for us. We had some really good On the Prowls in our last set, and we have another litter here in this set also. This guy's just going to be a big, good growing, good bodied, very, very stout barrow. Probably feed into a late June or a July setting if you want him to. No holes, good feet and toes, very square. Just going to be a real nice, solid project for someone. And again, the kind that just gets better every day. So again, these two are 11 and 73.
Yeah, real good pair of them here they bring out in the first pen. I'll just kind of reiterate and touch back with what Russ said. That 11 gilt's going to feed, and those Magic Boxes have been real fun to watch grow in that last group and the handful we're going to show you this group also. Just a fault-free kind of gilt that I have huge confidence is going to feed in that lot 11. The sock pig there, fault-free kind of pig. I definitely agree with Russ, though, going to feed into a show in later June and July. Definitely don't think it's out of the question getting to mid-July, no doubt. One pig that's just going to feed, good feet and toes, square-made, good built, just typical, good Ottenwalter pig that's not going to get you in a bad spot, always going to get you in the right direction.
So these next three coming in are 5, 12, and 74. So 5's the calico gilt there that Palin's got. And then 12 would be the black gilt that Alea's got in 74 over here with the little, is the red belted gilt. So we can talk about 5 first. She's a different League 26, and again, these are the same pen as those last two we saw. So these are actually a little bit older November pigs that were just smaller for their age. We were really, really glad we were able to do that out of that last group because there's this group, or these ones we've added here out of this age to this set, we think are going to get a lot done for a lot of folks. Calico Gilt's really neat. That different League 26 litter she's out of, she's actually out of different League 48's mom, so it would be in-game 4111, one of our very best sows, who happens to be a calico, and that's her color. But this gilt we think is very, very versatile. She'd be a great jackpot gilt. She'd be a great gilt to feed and show as a big gilt if you want to go to CYE. She'd also probably fit a mid-July county fair time frame just perfect. Eye-catchy gilt, muscular and shapely, but at the same time built really, really well. So we're pretty excited about her. The black gilt again would be lot 12, and she would be a clarity. That clarity litter that she's out of was one of the very best litters in that last set. She's out of a Game of Thrones 155.5 sow. A lot of our better males, and just entirely, that litter was entirely deep out of that whole group there. We like her a good deal. She's definitely one probably needs to come a little slower. She's got a lot of muscle, but at the ground she's square. She's good coming at you and just very, very good up on her toes. Good at the ground, just a nice pig. And then the last one is 74 over there. It's that red belt. Bigger frame, but a lot of muscle in this pig. She's a different League 48. She would be out of Last Dance 2046. So her mom actually raised probably our highest selling litter. Would have been in our September online sale. She had solid whiteout pigs, and they've been feeding really well. We've heard a lot of good things about how they're coming along. So very good mama, and then again, sire there would be different League 48. And I think this one also has a kind of a versatile, can do whatever you want with her kind of deal. Bring her slow. I think she's a great market hog for a mid-July county fair. She's always going to have a lot of muscle, always going to be wide coming and going, and just kind of easy. As long as you bring her slow, that one's going to be an easy one to get right.
Lots of different shapes and colors in this rainbow here. Kind of dumped a bag of Skittles on us. The 5 gilt here, the predominantly black calico. That one is extremely striking in terms of her head and front 1/3 assembly. She's real good coming at you. A lot of faith in that sow line and that sow family. Remember, we pictured DO48 as a baby pig, and I believe that was that sow's breakout litter after her show career, and she just hasn't missed since. This gilt is the epiphany of a show gilt in terms of front end extension, foot and bone circumference, and overall just predictability and feedability. I dig that 5 rig a good deal. The black gilt, lot 12, definitely not a shortage in terms of width and power. I think you bring that one nice and slow. She fits a good setting into July. You want to show her as a big green gilt, and if they have an all-black division, that one fits real well. That 12 gilt's awfully striking. You get her home, get her dark black, and get her haired up and take her to the ring. I don't think anybody's going to miss that one. The red-belted gilt, 73, to reiterate what Russ said, definitely one I think needs to be brought a little slower. Use that to your advantage, though. Let age and maturity continue to hit on that one. She's big ring pieces, I think, in terms of height and length. Fill her in and fill her out, and I think that one's going to be a neat rig. I don't think it's out of the question, though, to get her to a middle of July setting as well with all that power she's cranking on. Good trio of pigs, lot 12, 5, and 74.
We've got lots 25 and 26 coming in here in this set, and this is a really nice pair of barrows. They're litter mates, obviously. They're sired by Pathfinder on Heavy Hitter 227.4. Heavy Hitter 227.4, we actually kept 5 227 litter heavy hitters a couple years ago when we used that bore really hard. And the Dash 4, which is the mom of these, kind of has emerged as the best one out of all of those. We call her Boo. She's a really just a stout-made, very, very muscular sow. To be honest, her back and just her pin set looks like this barrel here that Alea's got. Which one have you got, Alea? 25? 25. So Alea's driving 25 there. 26 is the one that's kind of got the spot in the middle of his back, or in the middle of his belt, rather. And they're interesting. Their pattern and their look from the side is very, very similar. You get in behind him, and there's some differences. The one that Alea's got has got a lot of power. He's real big in his pin set and his upper hip. He's got a big old just center rib cage working in him. He's going to have a giant back in him when it's all said and done. Whereas the one Carter's got there, he's a little narrower behind. He's not as big muscled, but it sure looks like it's going to come and looks like one that you can probably feed a little harder. And although they're very, similarly patterned, I think these two need to be managed entirely different the way they're fed. And like I say, maybe the one Carter's got needs to feed and go into an earlier July show, whereas the one Alea's got could show into August. But, that's up for you guys to decide. We tell you that Pathfinder, their sire, was one of our very favorite boars we used last summer. Saw last summer in the Midwest. He was at Purple Power. And we've been just tickled. This would be our second, setup. We had November pigs out of him. Now these Decembers out of Pathfinder have been really, really impressive, and we've got a lot of confidence here. So 25-26.
Real fun pair of barrows here, and I can speak from experience. I had the pleasure of feeding that Boo pig, and she was a dang fun one to feed. And she's probably was more the look of the little pig, like the 25, a little heavier muscled, one that had to be brought just a tick slower, but use that to your advantage. I really, really like the 25 pig that Alea has here right next to the table. That pig is rolled up and crisp in terms of back shape. He's stout, and he's wide at the ground coming at you, and plenty of width behind as well. Manage that one. I think you can get a lot of things done with him there mid-July or 1st August. That pig's real striking about his front 1/3. He's stout about his tail. I really like that pig a good deal. And to say exactly what Russ said, the litter mate there, he's no slouch neither, but he needs to be managed completely different. He probably follows the Pathfinder deal. The dad there a little more so than the brother. He's a little greener in terms of muscle and width. Probably needs to be fed a tick harder. Still think one to get you there into July and maybe even the end of June's not out of the question yet either, but a good pair of littermate brothers, both different in their type and kind, but both very, very good pigs. Lots 25 and 26.
Really fun little pair up here. This is 56 and 57. So 56 is the smaller one, right? Palin, yes. Palin's got 56, so he's the kind of, just a slightly smaller barrel. He's probably got a little more, kind of blue saddle back there. And then 57 would be the taller one there that Carter's got. These guys are sired by different League 26. And they are out of a gilt that my boss bought at the Oklahoma Youth Expo last year in the sale. She was a lead the way, and this would be her very first litter. And we're absolutely tickled with this litter. They're the two that we kind of selected for the sale, but honestly, all mates in the litter have been very impressive, and we're just so impressed at how stout they are. Their bone and hair is extremely good. They've got very big legs, and they're just going to be dense, stout pigs. I think they're definitely probably more of a late July, August kind of time frame, but they're going to be so stout, especially that one that Palin's got there muscle-wise. Again, that would be 56. I read him as just being something that's just going to be very, very good. He, if he looks a little off and he's top line there on the preview, I tell you, we've been honed in on this pig all week, and I wouldn't even think twice about that. That's not going to be an issue. His chest is immaculate. Get in behind him. His rear legs are right where they need to be at this stage, and he can be really, really stout. If you like the bigger one, I think his design from the side is awesome and probably a little better than his brothers. That's 57. He may be even stouter boned He also has a giant chest in him. They're both going to be a really fun pair. Study them and kind of see what you think and buy the one you like. But we have a lot of confidence here. And again, their pedigree would be different. League 26 back on Lead the Way.
Yeah, I wish these two would show off for you a little bit better. And no question, Russ and I, we kind of struggled and had some rough times getting this group pictured, and then they're proving themselves here, and I wanted to show off for you guys as well, and I wish they would. But a good pair of blue pigs here, no doubt. And just to reiterate back on that sow, we just bred her the last few days, and I sent a video of her standing in the sow lot this morning to one of my buddies, and he goes, "Whoa, what's that sow?" And I said, "Check out these baby pigs." I'm dang tickled with these two blues. The 57's a little taller. I don't think that hurts him at all nor hinders him. The 56 a little more moderate in terms of frame size. Both very similar, though, in terms of foot and bone circumference, chest and squareness and knee coming at you, and just usage of their hind leg flexibility and correctness. A hawk placement's very good. Both of these pigs, I think, have a high ceiling, 56 and 57.
These next two are 58 and 59, and they're on the smaller end of this set here. These guys are actually mates. They're sired by a different league. 112-1, which is our blue sire. Then their dam would be Toy Story 103.5. So she was a show gilt here, actually, that Reese Vieira showed last year, and this would be her very first litter. So again, pedigree is different league, 112-1. Back on Toy Story. Toy Story is a boar we had here that did a really good job for us, and he's not here anymore, but he sired a large percentage of our pigs last spring and into the summer as well, and got a lot done and won a lot of stuff. The one that Alea's got there is the bigger one, and that would be 58. He's got a little blue there on his side and blue masking, and then 59 is the little guy there that Palin's got, and he does have a little bit of blue ahead of his eyes, but not much. If for those who are paying attention to that, if you want to make him a York, he's probably got some possibility to do that there. One thing I'll tell you, we fed a lot of these 112-1s last summer and last fall. They will never have a shortage of muscle. These pigs will get thicker every day. They're generally very just good-looking pigs that are sharp-fronted. They've got a killer look from the side, and that barrow there that Alea's kind of showing off for you is a good example of that. That pig's going to feed really, really well for someone. He's going to have a lot of muscle. I know some of these folks looking for pigs that they can't feed Palin to. These 112-1 pigs are always going to have muscle, so that's a kind of a given, and that's something that you can just bank on with these guys. Little guy there, he's a little harder to look at. He's one of the smallest pigs in the sale. We think he's going to be pretty good. Like I say, he could probably be a York option for someone you wanting to make a York into an early August or even a mid-August kind of setting there, or even later. But study how stout he is. Greener bodied as well. Both these barrows are just a little greener bodied, and based on their pedigree, I'd say that's the way they need to look right now. So again, these two are 58 is the bigger one, 59 is the little guy.
Yeah, no doubt. A couple of 112-1 pigs walking the ring, and they're good kind of skinny green built ones. They're built for the long haul. Definitely not a shortage of look and overall appearance amongst these two. Both sharp looking and still stout skulled and good coming and going in terms of squareness. Like Russ said, just greener kind of made pigs that we think is going to feed really well. That lot 58 sure intrigues a guy out here on the green turf. Of course, he showed off real well for you. It really showed off how attractive he was and how flexible and pliable he is up both ends of his skeleton. Little tyke, I wish to do the same thing. He's a carbon copy, just pounds smaller today. A good litter mate pair of barrows here, lots 58 and 59.
These next two are 24 and 28. Really nice little pair of them. So this 28 is the belted pig, and he'd actually be a mate to those two we just showed you, those two little white pigs. So again, that pedigree is different league, 112-1, back on Toy Story 103.5. And then 24 here is this calico pig, and he'd be an 86 on a Game of Thrones. So talk about him first. That 86 was a boar at Purple Power. He was one of two boars that I saw last summer that I thought was going to be a real mover and a shaker. It just could bring a lot of change in one generation. We bred as many as we could to him, and honestly, we didn't get very many settled. We wish we'd gotten more bred, because we really like these babies. He's got two mate sisters in the cell that are colored exactly like him. But we're pretty dang high on this pig. You know, whether you like his color or not, just study the way he's built. He's got a really, really neat look, and he's going to have big muscle, and at the same time, he is just good build at the ground. His feet and toes are right. He's up on his pasterns. He's not going to be a bow-legged pig. He's got a big chest. You can get a lot done with that pig, and honestly, I'd say if you've got an early August show, he needs to be really high on your list. Regardless of what color, there'll be belted pigs that sell ahead of him that'll, I'm sure, bring more money. But, if you're okay with the color there, that one's going to give you a bang for your buck because he can win something big. He's a really neat pig. Then again, the other pig is 28, the belted pig, like I say, is a different league, 112-1. Really neat pig, kind of been one of our favorites all along. This is our double crip, right, Dustin? So we got a new vet came out this week. Really excited about him. He did a handful of surgeries. This pig was a double crip. We had it in our notes. Really couldn't even tell that he was without looking up the notes. But at any rate, he just had he was just fixed by our vet Tuesday. He's been in a pen by himself, and he'll go back to a pen by himself here tonight. We'll put him in the sale group tomorrow. But he's healing great, already been fixed. So that's one thing that, most breeders, and not trying to toot our own horn, but most breeders just sell them to you, and then you got to find the vet and pay him to get them fixed. We've done that with, there's 4 in the set here. We'll tell you which ones they are as they come through. But he's good to go. And he was a really, really good pig, and so we just said, you know what, we've got to get him fixed so we can get him sold. Study his skeleton, his look, and remember what we said, how much muscle those 112-1s come with. I'd put him pretty high on your list. I think he's going to be a real good pig.
Interesting pair that come out here. The calico, I don't like his color one bit, but I love the rest of him. If he was belted, good chance he'd be the leadoff pig in this set. That pig has big, bendy legs that work in the appropriate manner. He's sharp in terms of his front end. He's big and square in his chest, and he's got a good amount of muscle shape running down the top side of his spine. That pig is a neat rig. For me, I don't like his color. Aside that, I love that pig, the way he's assembled and the way he's built. I think he's got a special place in someone's barn, and heck, might even be one I put on feed somewhere. I like that 24 pig a good deal. 28's been one I've been real fond of from the start. That pig I think is real special. A greener kind of built 112-1 pig, but he's got big bendy legs and everything seems to work and bend and flex in the appropriate manner. He's good in his chest. He's striking about his front 1/3, and I love his head. It's slender but yet stout and attractive. I think that pig's got a special place. Both these pigs I do think fit the August setting best. Probably no question as good as they're built in terms of hawk placement you can push on them and get them to July. I think they fit the August setting quite best. Again, these are lots 24 and 28.
These next two are 77 and 78, and these are purebred Yorks. We're very excited about these two. They've actually got another mate brother we'll show you here in a second. They're sired by Hit 'em Up, boar at Purple Power, that's had a really good run here lately, one of the more popular York sires in the country. And then their dam would be 810. She's a Kaiser sow that was actually champion York Gilt at CYAE 2 years ago. Was shown by Lauren Tadman and bred by Lance Ryan. We bought 3 really nice little York females that year to kind of try to get our York program revamped a little bit. And this 810 that these guys are out of is kind of emerged as probably the best one out of those ones we started with there. So again, the pedigree here would be hit 'em up on a Kaiser. Really, really high on this pair. These guys were a challenge to photo. Dustin kind of alluded to that earlier, and you know, I promised a lot of people we'd have our photos up on Wednesday, and when they weren't up till Thursday, you know, about noon, we struggled with some of these just to get them to go after something. You know, obviously nothing for you guys to be concerned about, but these 2 were a couple of the ones we were struggling with. Studied the pigs; they're extremely good. 78 is the one Palin's got, and if you're looking at the camera, Palin's got the Nike Dunks. So that's the one over here. Camera's focused on 78 right now. Absolutely love that pig. 77 is the slightly taller one that Carter's got there. But for purebred York barrows, these guys are extremely good. I know all your Midwest state fairs out there, you know, you guys got pedigreed barrow shows. These guys will win or give you a really good chance to win. They're extremely good pigs, I promise you. 78 is a little more moderate. That's the one Palin's got with the Nike Dunks. 77 there is slightly longer bodied, probably just slightly a little more bigger framed. But they're both, you know, wide coming at you. You know, they're stout enough. They're just extremely good pigs in terms of their phenotype. Very, very impressed with them. And there's application for them out here too, absolutely. To be honest, we hope they go to a pedigreed show because they'll win a pedigreed show.
Yeah, it was fun watching all those gilts that Russ and Mark had got in to rebuild the Yorkshire program, and the Yorks have been no slouches the last few groups, and these just retouch back on that. These 2 pigs are where they be wiries, where they're fun. I like a wiry one, bring them on. The 78 pig has been fun from the start, and we wanted to get that pig a good picture, and we finally got him. We were very excited, and it was a challenge, but we spent a lot of time with these 2 York barrows. And we did a lot of study in the course as we watched them, as you did, move around out here. A good pair of Yorks. I'd say the 78 pig, the one on the furthest side of the screen, he's probably a little greener in terms of muscle. High hip and hind leg works extremely well. The 77, now he's on the other side of the screen, far side. He probably comes with a shot more muscle shape today. Definitely doesn't hinder him none at all. I like these 2 pigs a good deal, a lot, 77 and 78.
79 and 80 have just came in, so we promised you about that other mate there. That's 79, obviously, and then 80 would be the Chester. So the Chester barrow here, 80, would be a Tsunami, and he is out of, I'm trying to remember what his mom is. I should know that off the top of my head. I'm sorry that I don't. Making Waves 96.6. So his mom was the reserve Chester gilt at CYE 2 years ago, shown by Harley DeShane, inspired by Making Waves. She was actually a West Texas genetics gilt and has turned into one of our very best Chester sows. Again, this guy's sire Tsunami, which is our herd board that we've got here that needs to be used a lot harder. We probably need to do a little better job promoting, but that's a very good Chester barrow. I know there's a breed division at most of these Oregon jackpots now for the AOBs. This guy's going to do really, really well in a setting like that. He'd also do great as a Chester barrow going to CYE or one of these shows. And we've got a lot of shows in early August out here in our part of the country with breed divisions. Sonoma Fair, Napa Fair. If you guys want to feed a Chester, I'd tell you this guy'd probably have as good a chance of winning as probably anything in the sale there within that breed division deal there. So again, that's 80, and then 79 is little brother to those Yorks. He's the smallest one of the three, maybe just the greenest as well, but he's also extremely good skeleton. Has a really good hind leg, really good pattern. That whole litter's been so impressive. Really can't sing them enough praises. If you can't get 77 or 78, this 79 can give you a good chance to win too.
Yeah, I think this is the end of our purebred barrel offering. There's another Chester gilt we'll run you out here in a bit. But no question here, the 79 Yorkshire Barrow, he's definitely the pound smallest and in terms of muscle and just width today, he's the greenest compared to his mates. Some guys like the greener Yorkshires the best, which is no big deal at all. That pig is extremely good skeleton. He's good coming at you. Really an up-headed kind of pig when he finally decides to show off, and good about his front 1/3. A nice little Yorkshire Barrow there, 79. The Chester pig, there's a lot of West Texas genetic Chester in that deal, and it shows him. He's good looking up front. Definitely shows a lot of what those make and wave bred kind of pigs can do. And there's a lot of that wrapped in this pedigree on this Chester. That Chester is very good made, good built, square-ended kind of pig that's still stout and upright on his toes, and good in terms of the squareness of his toes. Chester Barrel, I think, get along quite well there in August, or maybe even take him as a lighter one at California State Fair, one of those state fairs in July, and run him somewhere else as well down the road. These are the Yorkshire Barrel 79 and the Chester 80.
Neat little pair here. This is 23 and 76, and these two are litter mates, and these guys are sired by Loud and Clear. We just have the one litter in this set, and we wish we had about 20 litters of them. Loud and Clear has done such a good job for us, and it just happens, this time we bought Loud and Clear, and our first crop was last summer's pigs, and so we used them really hard, and then, like we always do, we kind of shift away for a little bit and want to kind of wait and see how pigs look. And now we're back to where we're using him quite a bit. But if you don't know Loud and Clear, he's on our website. He is an all-out trumpet son. He sired third overall barrow at Arizona Nationals here recently. That was out of his very first litter. And he's doing an extremely good job. Just look at how dense these pigs are. These pigs' bone and hair and their skin texture, hair texture is awesome. They're going to be extremely hairy and they're going to be extremely stout. They're out of different league sow. It would be her very first parity. She's different league 138.9. And again, sire Loud and Clear. To be honest, when I bought Loud and Clear, that was the intention, was to have something to bring back on these different league daughters. And you'll see a lot of that here in the next few sales, a lot of that mating, Loud and Clear on a different league. But at any rate, the black pig, predominantly black pig, would be 23. And then the red-belted pig there would be 76. Study their skeletons. There's another two mates that we're going to show you here in a sec. These two are the two different ones as far as color goes. The other two are belted males. 23 is the smallest in the litter, but he's extremely neat. He's got a big chest. He might be as neat fronted as any of them in the litter. Probably the best looking up front. Probably just the best, hipped as well. Just beautiful look from the side that he's got. We think that guy can be extremely good. Has a very, very high ceiling. 76 red belt, is extremely stout, and to be honest, these next two mates will show you look just like him. Study them the way you like them yourselves. We have a lot of confidence that these Loud and Clear pigs can win here. 23 and 76.
Yeah, these four boy pigs we're fixing to show you, these two and the two in the next pen that are mates, have been really fun to get pictured, and there's no difference though that that these Loud and Clear pigs are going to be the ticket on those different league females, and like Russ said, that was his plan when he bought that boar, and I'd say that was smart thinking ahead. The 23 pig is easily the smallest, but in terms of bone, he's definitely the heaviest in terms of leg circumference. He's very, very intriguing about his front 1/3. I think you get him home and you get him tanned up and darker, he's definitely going to be no slouch later on the end come August. 76 red belt, he's probably the most shapely within that litter. Definitely one I think you're still going to have to push on him a little bit, and in a good way, push on him a little bit to get him there. I definitely think feed him a little bit harder is definitely not going to hinder you any. At least that's how I'd feed that pig. But a good pair of males, and we'll talk the next two as they come in. This is lots 23 and 76.
All right, guys. 22 and 75. Litter mates here, again, pedigree would be Loud and Clear, back on different league, 138.9. 22 is the one that Carter's got with a kind of the half belt, and then 75 would be the hamp appearing barrow there. And like I say, I think the pattern and just the look that these guys have, all four of them are very, very similar. Just dense pigs, and if you're, just a breeder or somebody watching online, and maybe not necessarily wanting to buy, but wanting to learn something, one thing that I'll tell you I've learned is Loud and Clear will put bone and just really, really good hair. And we love the skin, the hair texture they've got. They're just going to be coarse, I don't know what the right word is. Coarse is not probably the right word, but they're going to be dense haired, very, very stout pigs. Study the skull on these pigs. They're really wide between their eyes. We're just very excited about them, and the best part is he's not messing things up. They're up on their toes. Their rear legs are good. They're not going to be Bowie kind of pigs. They're going to be pigs that you can feed on. And so we think this Loud and Clear thing has a great future here. We've got a lot of confidence, and we'll continue to use him really hard. Again, on these two, 22 is the half belt, 76 is the belted pig. You can kind of study them and see. I'd tell you 22 probably could be as just as dense and as stout as anything come early August in the entire set. And I sure wouldn't be afraid of 76 either, or 75, excuse me.
There's no question. There's probably not a pig you're going to see come through the preview ring with a noggin like 22, and it was pretty easy with just walking through the barn and finding him. He's got just a ginormous, attractive kind of head, and it follows down to the ground. He's big and big-footed, stout forearm, heavy-boned pig. When you get home, get him dark, and that hair gets to growing on him, I think he's going to play later on down the road. Definitely an attractive kind of belt that runs up the other side of his white front leg. I dig that 22 pig a good deal. The 75, the belted pig, today he is easily the darkest pigmented one, and that kind of helps him show off a tick more today. I wish he'd show off for you right now, because that pig is definitely interesting in terms of his look up front. He's still stout in terms of foot and bone, and yet his hip and hind leg works real good. So a nice pair of them, 22 and 75.
29, 70, and 71 just came in. So we showed you a little Calico Barrow number 24 earlier that we were real high on, and these would be his two mate sisters, and it's not hard to tell. They're colored just like he is. And then 29 would be the Chester. We don't typically put a purebred up higher in the sale. Our thought process is the people that want to buy those are going to buy them no matter where they're at. But we thought this Chester was really, really fun. She would be sired by Slip and Slide, which is a new young kind of popular boar there at Laird's. And then her dam is Burner Phone 249.6. Was a really, really good Chester gilt, actually, that Turquoise Stone showed and did a really, really good job with, and should have won at CYE 2 years ago. Was just a pig that, I swear just got missed. Absolutely love that sow that she's out of, and we'd tell you this is the best one she's had. We've got a lot of confidence in that Chester gilt. Whether you want to jackpot or whether you want to go to CYE with her, she'd be perfect age and size for that. Certainly she'd fit a Midwest State Fair, and, we've gotten along really well with our Chester program over the years. We've made a lot of Chester champions, at Louisville, NJSA show there, at these Midwest State Fairs. I'd tell you this one here would be as good as what we've offered in the last several years and would have a really, really good chance to get something done there. These two calicos, back to them, that's 71 that, the camera's following right now. Then the other one, there's 70 that Carter's got. There's not a lot of difference in terms of their pattern and their look. Again, their sire would be 86. And they're out of a Game of Thrones sow, really, really good young Game of Thrones sow. I think she's on her third parity now. That 86 board Purple Power we had a lot of faith in, and the pigs that we've had, we've been really tickled with. Again, 71 is the one that's kind of right next to the Chester right now on your screen. 70's the other one over there. 70's probably a little stouter. I shouldn't say stouter. I should say thicker, especially getting behind her. She's a little bigger in her upper pin set. 71's probably just a little later mature in there through her center body. But we've got a lot of faith in these. If you're wanting to buy a pig, maybe you're not quite sure, about, what your favorites are. You buy one of these two, I promise you they're not going to fall apart on you. They're going to be easy to feed and manage, and they're going to get you up to the top of your show, just quality-wise, with probably minimal effort. There's no holes in them. Their feet and legs are right. Their maturity's right on the money. They're just very, very good pigs. So, again, 70 and 71.
Yeah, 70 and 71. People looking for even a replacement kind of gilt or something to track on later on. It'd look awfully smart as a buyer to buy into one of these calico gilts. With as good as their mate brother is, it has high potential to do extremely well at a pig show. Resale value here on their little pigs, but let alone these gilts as a show gilt this summer, I think it'd be real good. 70 and 71, they're a little different. As Russ said, one comes with a little more muscle. One probably comes with a little more reach up front and look. But I think both of these gilts are extremely good, good built, good skeleton kind of livestock. Really, really like those two calicos a good deal. The 29 Chester, as Russ said, we normally don't put Chesters or any purebreds up to the top as normal. We did feel that she was one of the sale highlights without a doubt. That Chester gilt's extremely good in terms of feet and bone. Circumference, that thing is wild for a Chester. She's still sharp looking and good on her feet and toes. Got a stout tail and a square hip and hind leg. I like that Chester gilt a good deal. I think she's got a really high ceiling, something somebody can be competitive with this summer up in Oregon, or something a guy can take to California State Fair and end at CYE, or one of you Midwest guys watching that want to make a run at Louisville or something like that, or be competitive at a young age there for Expo. Definitely a Chester gilt I think can get along. These are lots 70, 71, and the Chester's 29.
These three that have just come in are 68, 69, and 72. So we're in a gilt pin here. These are some of our smaller pigs in the sale. Again, they are 68, 69, and 72. 72 is the little white gilt. We showed you her mate, Barrows, a little earlier. She is a different league, 112-1 back on Toy Story, 103.5. Really neat little gilt, and she's kind of been one we've kind of had our eye on. And I remember my comment on that litter. I promise you, these 112-1s come with a lot of muscle. You can kind of see that in this gilt. This gilt's maybe a little thicker than her mate Barrows at this stage. She's going to be one that'd probably be an August, September kind of end point. potentially even, I know some folks looking for like American Royal kind of gilts. That'd be kind of what I'd be thinking if I was trying to buy that gilt, just something a little later there. She'd be a fun one to jackpot all summer, though, as a smaller gilt, and probably get you a lot of mileage. Going to have a lot of muscle, and like I say, she's a neat little stout gilt there. The other two are also non-mates. We've got three that are not sisters here in this group. 68, is that the one, Carter, you have? Okay, Carter's got 69. We'll try to get her out in front there. That's the kind of wider belted gilt. She'd be a Pathfinder. We showed you her mates a little earlier. She's out of that heavy hitter sow that we call Boo. She's got two mate barrels. I think they're 25-26 in the sale. And she's a little greener bodied than they are. Really, really like her, though. This litter has been one of our favorites. Her maturity, we think, is right on the money. She's extra heavy boned, and this whole litter has kind of been that way. For a gilt that's a little later maturing through center body, she's got a big old chest in her. And just looks like, again, the kind that's going to get better every day. Can kind of feed her hard and let her just mass up. And I think that one could be a really, really smart purchase for someone. And also, I think this Pathfinder thing, there are going to be some really nice females come out of this deal, and she'd probably be a really nice gilt at the end of the day to be a breeding project or, put into your herd someday as well. And lastly, this other one here that Palin's got is 68. This predominantly belted gilt. Or this hemp marked kind of gilt here. She would be a stay strapped on Game On 191.9. Stay strapped, we had a couple litters in the last set, and I believe this is our only litter this set. That's a really good buckle up son there at 333 that we use. Real pleased with these stay strapped pigs. She's got a couple mate sisters we'll show you here in a minute as well. But, look and muscularity and shape is really good here. Basically, a gilt that's kind of bigger framed, belted, and has that kind of, neat look up front. You can get a lot of things done with. And so if you've got a county fair in early August, something like this should probably be on your radar.
Yeah, differences here in this trio, not just litter, but type and kind. The little white gilt, I agree entirely with what Russ said. Take that one home and run her this summer, and you're going to show that one late into the fall. A lot of shelf life on that little 72. Runner's a light cross. She does have a tick of blue there on her tail root, but definitely a neat little rig. As much as we like those brothers, and I'm real high on her 28 brother, that one's on a list for some people that are looking for royal gilts or something to show this summer and not have a real target for, but later on, I think that one's one of the best buys for that situation and scenario. The lot 69 that Carter's got here, she was a pill to get photoed. I don't believe she's got a photo. She was sure dang tough to get one, and it's not that we didn't try, because we tried like heck to get one of her. That litter is extremely good. A lot of confidence in that one being out of that Boo sow. That Boo sow was real fun to feed. Boo looked a lot like this one. In terms of skeletal correctness and look up front, Boo probably had a tick more muscle than this pig did, which I think comes to this pig's advantage. But I think when you take home, lay the feed bucket too, and I think that one's going to be awfully fun later on down the road. The 68 there, the stay strapped, those have been really fun to look at and watch grow up around here, and the few that I even got in the last sale, had the pleasure of seeing them last week on a run I made. Those pigs have been really good. There's something about them in terms of their skull, and their front 1/3 is extremely good. Muscle shape and texture is really good as well. Feet and legs, nothing to worry about there. A gilt that I think is going to feed in to be something quite special later on down the road. Again, these are lots 68, 69, and 72.
Six and 37 and 38 just came in, and so 6 and 37 are actually litter mates. That's the little black gilt, little belted gilt, and the little blue mask gilt there. 6 is blue masked, and then again the little belt is 37, and then this other gilt in here is a pure York, and she is 38. So 6 and 37 are sired by Trustfall. They're out of a first parity, different league gilt, would be a different league three-peat gilt. Very first litter she had. Really thick, probably one of the thickest different leagues that we've kept. She was a blue sow, obviously, but been real pleased with his first litter here. Again, sire Trustfall is at upper hand. He's a promotion son and one of the favorite boars that I had or that I found on my summer tour last year. We think this 6 can be a really good show gilt for a light cross division, especially. She's this one here that Alea's got here off to your left. She's really, really neat. She's just one of those proportional gilts, tall fronted, shorter backed, going to be real thick made, got big legs, and they work right, and she's real square. Like her a good deal. Again, that's lot 6. I sure wouldn't sit on my hands tomorrow. I believe she's the first gilt, or it might be the second gilt that gets into the ring. But usually there's some good buys early on in the sale. You could do a lot of things with that gilt, whether you're going to a county show in July, or you're going to CYE, or you've got you want to take her to a Midwest State Fair. We think that one's extremely good. Will be a really, really good light cross jackpot gilt all summer as well. Again, that's lot 6. And don't discount her little sister here. Again, that's lot 37, this belted one. She's just a little smaller than sister. She's got really big legs when you get in behind her. She's really square. I love her maturity. She could wind up being one of the very best buys of the sale tomorrow. She's just small, but absolutely love this pig skeleton. Again, that sire Trustfall is in his sire promotion. Those are boars that are kind of, good-looking pattern kind of boars that you breed to power, which is what we did with this mating. I'd say she looks a lot like Daddy, and that pig has a really, really good chance. Again, that's 37. Then Carter's trying to exit over there with our purebred York gilt, 38, but he's going to get her back under control. He's doing a good job. We appreciate his help here. She's a mate to those barrows we showed you, those Yorks we're so proud of. So she's a hit-em-up Kaiser. Mom is the champion York Guild at CYE 2 years ago. It was bred by Lance Ryan. She looks really good tonight. She's just a big-bodied, square-built, really good-legged gilt. She's up on her toes. She's got a square hock. If you want to show a purebred York gilt, this one here will give you a really good chance to win everywhere you go all summer. So, again, she is tagged 38, excuse me.
Yeah, fun trio of them here. The two sisters, definitely different, not just in terms of color, but maturity pattern today as well. The 6 gilt, the white one, that's an intriguing animal. Big legs that bend and hinge properly. She gets coming right at you. She's big and square in her chest. I love that one's head and neck attachment and assembly. I think that's a big ring kind of gilt, runner all summer, party in the fall kind of deal. I dig the lot 6 gilt a good deal. Her little sister, she's skinnier and greener today, and I think you can use that to your advantage if you got to get the push on one. Her hind leg, I think, reads appropriate to do so. Like I say, a little greener today, but I don't think that hurts her none. She is probably a shot more attractive in terms of her front 1/3 extension. I mean, she's very, very clean there in her throat and jaw. I think very attractive kind of female that reads with the big ring presence later on in life when she gets fluffier and chuffier. The Yorkshire Gilt 38, very, very good Yorkshire Gilt. And like I said earlier on the Yorkshires, it was fun when we assembled those Yorkshire females here in the last group of Yorkshires and this one as well. Definitely some good things coming here for that breed at Ottenwalter Showpigs. I dig the 38 gilt. I think something that someone's going to get something done with in a breed show later on this summer, or even during the summer, maybe some of them Oregon jackpots. I think a really good gilt there to land on. Again, these are lots 6, 38, and 37. Carter did, yeah. 13, 35, and 36 have just come in here, and these 3 are all sisters. These are out of that Stay Strapped litter back on Game On 191.9. This 13 gilt would be the one that Alea's got over here, so she's actually in front of the camera right now. And then the other 2 are 35 and 36. 35 is the traditional belt, and 36 is kind of the wide belted one with a white, the white underline there that Carter's got. Again, Stay Strapped back on Game On 191.9.
Really like these stay strap pigs, and really like this litter. And the 13, again, that's the one that Alea's got, which would be kind of over here. She's on the far side, be on the far left of the screen. She sells earlier in the sale. She's the biggest chested, probably the biggest ribbed of the group of them. I thought this was one of my very favorites going through gilts here the other day. Just very proportional. She's shapely. See if you can maybe get her to move just a little there, Alea, it'd be great. I know this group here is a little bit harder to show off than what we'd like. But that one's pretty fun little gilt there. I think she could do a lot of things. If you're wanting to go to CYE or go to a state fair with that kind of gilt, that one will get you pretty far, I think. The sisters over here, don't discount them either. Like I say, the wide belt there would be 36, the smaller one, and then 35 is kind of the traditional belted gilt there. 35, the belted gilt. Bigger one there. She's going to have a little more muscle than some. She's tall fronted, kind of a bigger outline gilt. Be an easy one to feed and manage. And that little one there that Carter's got could wind up being a really, really good buy. She's maybe one of the later maturing ones in the litter, and that would be 36. So again, 13, 35, 36. I think that we can get a lot done with this trio.
Yeah, good trio of gilts here, and really there's kind of difference in size and scale, but you can kind of see how they're going to come on. The bigger gilt there, Palin has 35 on the far end. She's easily pounds heaviest and biggest, and furthest along in terms of muscle development at this stage, but it kind of just trickles on down to the gilt Carter's got, I believe, is 36. So she's probably middle of the stage in terms of muscle and body, and then the 13 gilt is the greenest of this trio, but I think Russ and all talked them all as good as I could on just how he reads them is how they need to be said. All good skeleton, easy feeding kind of livestock that are good built and square made. All of them definitely have a spot and a place to be fed to. Definitely like the 13 gilt if she could show off for us a little more and not trying to go to the bathroom as often. She'd really get to see how good her skeleton is and how well she reads. Going to be a big ring kind of gilt. The 36 there, definitely no slouch as well. Like I say, she's probably middle of the stage in terms of body and muscle, and the bigger gilt's a little further along today in terms of muscle, and it doesn't hurt her at all. Just kind of shows you the stage of how they're going to keep getting better every single day. These are lots 13, 35, and 36.
Shifting gears here a little bit, we've got some bigger pigs. Obviously, this is 1 in 34. So these guys are actually out of that November set. And what we did, like I said earlier, is we just kind of set some smaller ones aside when we were sorting those. We were lucky to have a really good pigs and a lot of numbers. And then we got through the sale and the next week kind of sorted and we're really glad we did that. These guys fit in really well. And like I say, the winning percentage here is going to be really, really good on these pigs that got just a little more age on them. Lot 1 there is the one with the white tail. And again, the other one there is 34. So lot 1 is a Logic on To The Extreme 143.8. We actually sold all of his mates in the last sale. They were really, really well received. We actually sold... There was 4 gilts. We sold 1 and kept the other 3 and actually leased them to show. They got great homes. The males in the litter also got great homes. And this guy was just a little brother. We threw him in this group, and as we were going through to make the sale order, we thought, that's a pretty logical lot 1. Just a really good made, good built barrel. His feet and toes are right. He's stout enough. He's going to be one you can just feed in July. You can easily make him work for early August also. And he's going to have all the parts and pieces he needs to win something and be just a neat animal. Background on that sow, she raised Palin Miller's barrel last year. It was the winningest pig in Oregon. Won SOJC, which is the first jackpot, and won Kootenai Classic, which is the last jackpot. And it was reserved at PI as well. And then a mate brother to that barrow that's out of this same sow is Different League 26, who's a boar that is the sire of several in the last set, some in this set, and a boar that is going to continue to see heavy use here at Ottenwalter Showpigs. So dam side doesn't get any better. And again, that sire Logic is one of the most popular sires in the country right now. It's at 333 Boar Stud there in Indiana. Is doing a great job. This other pig, 34, sorry I got long-winded on that one. 34 is an On the Prowl on Top Shelf Sister. So Top Shelf Sister was actually the champion gilt at Duncan a couple years ago, and Dustin was back there showing a Chester boar for us. And called me, said, hey, we've got to buy this gilt. She winds up being a sister to Top Shelf, who was a real popular boar there at Upper Hand for a while. And again, sire here is On the Prowl. Study this pig. He comes with big pieces. He's got big legs. He's got a big skull. He needs to come slow in his development. But there's a show in middle of July there we have a lot of pigs go to called the Jackson County Fair. Somebody ought to buy that pig, feed him slow. And that pig can be a real neat animal that catches a judge's attention and gives an exhibitor a chance to win. Really, really like that pig. Again, he is tagged 34.
Real interesting pair of them there. This lot 1, I thought it was quite punny. Russell said it was logical to put this Logic pig lot 1 in the sale. I like that pig, and I read him just slightly different than Russ. I think you can lay the smoke to that one and get him to June or July. Maybe, in my opinion, a stretch to get him to August, but I think he's going to play regardless. I like this lot 1 pig real good. He's square off both ends of his skeleton, upright on his toes, and tall-fronted and sleek-looking about his front 1/3. I like that pig a good deal. Like I say, lay the smoke to him and feed him. I think he can be real fun. Jackpot pig this summer, and maybe just end him at Kootenai or end him there in July. I like that pig a good deal. On the Prowl pig, I can definitely say I bought one of the bigger mates last month, and I'm real happy with him. And I like this pig too, as Russell said. You know, that Jackson County deal. I think he fits the bill as good as anything in this event. He's got big legs, a big forearm. I love his skull. He's good coming at you. He's good going away. I think a pig needs to be brought a little slower wherever he goes in life, and I think you'll be set. And I'm quite fond of that tricked out sow as well. So a good pair of them here, lot 1 and lot 34.
Really good pair to pay attention to here. No matter where you're wanting to go, if you're wanting a good male pig, this is 3 and 4. So their sire here is Promotion, board Upper Hand, and their dam is a sow, Judgment Day 57.5. So we actually bought the sow with Hunter Langhoff 2 years ago, and Hunter had a family show her. She goes to World Pork Expo or the exposition, excuse me, and several other jackpots, and she won quite a bit. We had a lot of folks texting us wanting to buy that pig. She came from Stoquist. Again, she was sired by Judgment Day. Back on a Nothing to Hide was what her pedigree was. Then on my board tours last summer, I realized we needed to use Promotion real hard there at Upper Hand. Bred her to Promotion, and this is what she's got here. There's another mate, lot 2. He's in a different pen. We'll show him to you here in a few minutes also. But this is 3 and 4. 4 is the one with the white on his left hip there. And 3 would be the kind of more traditional belted, although both of them are pretty painted up. Really, really like this pair of barrows. I think it's good for you guys to decide where they fit. They could certainly fit in July. They could certainly fit in August, just depending on the way they need to be fed. I think they catch judges' attention. I think this lot 4 that Palin's driving there, the one with the white on his hip, he's a little bit bigger hipped and bigger muscled behind. Got a big old stifle working in him. He's got a big head on the other end of his skeleton, and in between his body's just real dense. He's got a big round rib cage. He's good and up on his toes, as is both of his brothers. They're all very, very good in that category. Neat pig. I could see a pig like that winning at jackpots and catching judges' attention is real easy, and then just being one that kind of comes slow and gets, show him when he's ready and gets really, really good by early August or late July. The 3-barrel, same kind of story. He's not, of the 3 of them, and you'll see lot 2 here in a little bit, of the 3 of them, he's probably the latest in his maturity pattern about his muscle, which is either a good or bad thing depending on what you want to do. but he's got a really good hip and hind leg working in him. Just a beautiful look and pattern from the side. We're pretty high on this pair of pigs here, as you can tell. Again, promotion judgment day, and they're lots 3 and 4.
Yeah, real fun pair of them here, and it would be nice if we had that other one in here so you can compare and contrast with the 3 of them. But these 2 pigs here, awfully special. We thought that this trio of males needed to be up towards the top end of the sale, no doubt. The 3 pig, I think, has just a gorgeous stout head and noggin on him. I love his hip and hind leg, the way he reaches and bends and flex. Is he the heaviest muscle of the 3? No, and I think it works to his advantage. I think you can put it into him later on in life, but I dig that rig a good deal. 4 does sell intact, and the thought behind that is, this litter was good enough, let's offer one as a boar pig, and we felt he did that. Him being probably the densest in terms of muscle, and biggest in his stifle, and yet still being stout. This 4 pig's got an attractive kind of head about him, and you get off to the side of him when he shows off real good. He's real striking about his front 1/3. A good pair of pigs here. We're excited to talk to brother here in a few pens down. Lots 3 and 4.
This is another real important trio to pay attention to, and we have a lot of folks out here in our part of the world, and I think everywhere, that maybe just dismiss them if they're white. But I'll tell you, these white pigs will win a lot of stuff, and they'll save your pocketbook quite a bit because they never bring as much as the belted pigs. And so, if you're up to feed a white pig, or if you're at least open to it, study these pigs. These pigs are extremely good. They're lots 31, 32, and 33. They are sired by Different League 48 back on Last Dance 2046. Like I said earlier, we showed you a mate sister earlier. That was actually a red belt, but that sow, that 2046 sow they're out of, had our highest selling litter in our September sale. That's our off season out here, so those pigs all went to Texas, but they were extremely, extremely good. This litter here may be even better. Sire Different League 48 is really killing it. He may be the sire of all these different leagues when it's all said and done, and we're continuing to breed sows to him. He's the sire there that we bred that's at Newcastle. But at any rate, we have a lot of confidence in what these pigs are. They are, again, 31, 32, 33. 31 is the one that Alea's got that would be in front of the camera right now. He's got the most extension of the 3 of them. He's also probably got the hairiest legs of the 3 of them. And for a pig that's got a tall fronted kind of extended look, he's extremely blowed open through his chest floor, and he's just going to be a real fun pig. He is solid white. He would class as a York at the jackpots. He would class as a York as CYE. And honestly, all 3 of them, they're solid white. There's not a speck on them of black or blue or anything. So these are York classifying pigs. 33 is in front of the camera now that Carter in the blue's got there with the white shoes. He is a neat pig also. He's probably the biggest hipped of the 3 of them. Maybe needs to be fed just the slowest of the 3 of them. But we think that guy's got tremendously good potential as well. And then 32 is now in front of the camera there that Palin's got. He's the heaviest boned of the 3 of them. So study these pigs. We think we'd absolutely love to see at least one of them go to CYE, but it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what the buyers think. Buy these pigs, show them as Yorks. If you want, take them to your fair. They could probably win your fair as well. Like I say, we're extremely high on these 3 white pigs, 31, 32, 33.
Real fun trio of them out here, these York classifiers, and I still don't know which one I like the best. I like all 3 of them. I think the best thing to do is, if you're the winning bidder on this trio, and I think the best thing to do is to just buy all 3 of them, take them home, and feed them where they need to go. All 3 of these are slightly different. Like Russ said, you know, the 32, I'll just talk this 33 walking across the ring. I read him as being the most moderate in terms of his framework. I think his hip and hind leg is extremely good. I think he probably comes with the most raw muscle shape today. A week ago, I would have said it was the -3 that Palin has across the way. These pigs have changed in a good way the last few weeks. He's easily the heaviest bone. That pig Palin has 33, maybe the stoutest in terms of his skull. And then the other pig that Alea's got, 32, he's definitely the taller, kind of longer, more extended one. Oh, sorry. 31, the one I was talking, he's the longer-bodied, more extended one of the three of them. Definitely just kind of some differences amongst these mates, and they're all still good pigs, really good Yorkshires. Like I said, if you're the winning bidder of this trio, you ought to just group them all and take them all home and feed them. I think that's the smartest way to go about this on figuring out which one's going to be the best one for your setting. 31, 32, and 33.
These next two coming in are, who are they, Dustin? 66 and 67. Now we've shifted gears again. We're on to some of these smaller pigs in the set here. So again, 66 and 67. Which one of you got there, Carter? Okay, Carter's got 67. We'll see if we can get them out in the center here so we can see them. I'm sorry, I just can't see them to talk about them here. 67 has got less blue on his hip. 66 has kind of got the more blue, you know, there on his hip. And again, so 67 would actually be sired by Hang Tight, I believe, isn't he? Let's see. Lead off. You know, 67 is lead off, Sunrise, and then 68 would be Alibi. So these little blue guys here, on the younger age set, younger group, they're the younger ones in the set. These guys we really like quite a bit. These guys are both built to feed, if you ask me, just in terms of their phenotype. You can take them home and kind of just let them go. They're probably not going to have a lot of hold in them. You know, age and size-wise, they're certainly geared for end of July, early August, but could probably grow into an earlier setting if they need to. Really like just how good-legged both of them are here. Again, 67's the one that Carter's got there that's got a little less blue on his hip. He's got a darker kind of blue to him. 66 is a little bit lighter blue. 66 that Palin's got there, got a little more hair on him. You know, he's going to be a hairy, pretty good body pig in terms of just his center rib and stuff. Got a really nice hip and hind leg working in him. Carter's, I think, is going to have just a little more muscle. Again, that's the 67 pig. But nice little pair of blues here. We think, you know, light cross division, again, absolutely wouldn't be afraid to feed these two and give them a chance to get you some banners in the light cross division.
Yeah, these two blue ones, Russ and I went back and forth on which one we like more, and I think we've landed on two separate ones we like the best, which is fine. I think both of them have a special spot, and then lay the feed bucket to them, let the smoke roll, I think is going to be the best way to go about it. Both these pigs are good and they're upright. They're very similar in terms of being greener about their body and muscle shape today. I think they're both stout and good in terms of their hip and hind leg. Both of these pigs are attractive kind of blue to be successful in that light cross division. I like these pigs a good deal, 66 and 67.
more non-mates here, but very similarly sized, and these three will sell choice here tomorrow, like we always do with pigs that are grouped together in the sale here. These three are 63, 64, and 65. And so 64 is the one that Carter's got over there. That is a woke back on Coast to Coast 241.7. So Carter's got the kind of the half belted pig there. He's got a white right rear leg. Again, that pig is sired by Woke on a Coast to Coast. Real big muscled pig, or I shouldn't say big muscled. He's a shapely pig, but he's got a real big chest laid into him. There's going to be a lot of muscle and just power in this pig when it's all said and done. He's later in his maturity pattern. He's got a long front end about him. Just going to be a real nice feeding kind of barrow. Again, I'd say probably, if you're looking for Midwest State Fair kind of time frame or a CYE kind of time frame, early August, he fits absolutely ideal, and that pig's going to have a lot of power. And for a powerful hog, he's going to have a really nice, neat look about his front end for sure about him as well. Palin's got 63 over there. Really like his look and pattern. We were admiring him yesterday and today in that pen, and I think his proportions are maybe just as ideal as perhaps anything in the sale. That pig's sired by Deepwater. Deepwater's aboard Kurt Morgan's that we used this time quite a bit, that Kurt's been real high on. We've always worked closely with Kurt there. He's the source of Wedding Night and a lot of the other stuff we've had over the years as well. Out of Line was a boar we raised, but was out of his Outman boar. And, he's a good friend. And this pig here, again, sired by Deepwater, absolutely love his proportions. He's a perfectly belted pig that'll class hamp. And I'd tell you, if you've got a show with a classifying deal in early August, whether it be CYE or Sonoma Fair or Napa Fair or something, that's a hamp barrow that's going to get you really far, because he's really just so good proportion and built from the side. And then finally, this pig in the center here that Alea's got, that is 65, and he would be a lead-off, different league. Like him a good deal as well. Big muscled. Also, he's probably maybe the thickest one of the three of them when you get in here behind him. Big in his upper hip. Big chested coming at you also. Don't be afraid of that one either. He's obviously going to be a dark cross. He's not going to class as a hamp. But we like him a good deal also.
Yeah, this trio of them here, the 63 pig Palin has, like Russ said, we were admiring the way that deal just patterns up in proportions from the side. It's just ideal for a show barrow in today's times. He's good in his chest, he's broad in his square at his knee. You study that one off from the side, just the way he looks and the way he balances from the side, and when you watch that one float across the surface, it's almost flawless. He just paints a really good picture. His silhouette's real good. He runs uphill. I like that pig a good deal. The pig Carter got to 64, the Woke pig. Woke's been on a tear in terms of winning big ring pig shows. That pig is mean mugging, got a stout head about him. He's shapely. He's got a really good hip and hind leg as well working into him. I think a pig that's going to feed into his setting quite well. It could be one of the sleepers of the event. 65, the wider belt, the dark cross there. Definitely not a shortage in terms of back shape and width behind, yet still stays square and pliable in terms of his skeleton. A little greener in terms of body today, but I think that's okay. A pig that's really attractive about his head, that 65 pig. So again, these are lots 63, 64, and 65.
These next three coming in here are 60, 61, and 62. We've got a pair of mates coming in. That would be the Calico, which is 61, and then this belted male that the camera's focusing in on now, that would be lot 60. These guys are buckle up last dance pigs. Buckle Up there has obviously had a really good run. We've actually used quite a bit of his sons and gotten along really well, like Magic Box and Stay Strapped. Study this pair of barrows. Again, those are 60 and 61, the Calico, and the kind of wider belted, the two belted pigs there. We think they can really feed. One of the more memorable barrows that we've had here in the last couple years was the grand overall at San Joaquin County Fair 2 years ago that Preston Alberti fed and his sister showed. It was just a pig that one of them, I go to another pig show and another breeder would run up to me and say, hey, that was an amazing barrow. This barrow we were talking about, this lot 60, looks very similar to how that pig did at this stage. And that pig was also sired by Buckle Up. Got a lot of faith in this pair of them. If you're not afraid of the color of his brother there, 61, he probably actually has a little more muscle and a little stouter head on him than his brother. But his brother's just got a look about him, just looks like a barrel that's going to feed and kind of come together for folks. Real high on that pair. Then the thinner belted pig there that Harley's driving would be 62. That's a Stud Monkey in-game. Stud Monkey's been a very popular sire as well here this year, and he's a big wide. He's a bigger frame barrel that is very wide. Coming and going, his chest is gigantic. You get in behind him, he sets his hock square, but it's a bit wider, and he gives you just the impression that he's a barrel you could kind of feed on for quite a while because of how much width he's got at the ground. Sure wouldn't be afraid of that pig. He's going to be just an easy feeding one. Barrows that are bigger framed and muscular and belted like this have a pretty high winning percentage coming out of our program especially. So sure wouldn't be afraid of that pig there. That is lot 62.
Yeah, the two Buckle Ups there, 60 and 61. I've always liked those two a good deal, and the 60 pig really resembles a pig that wins San Joaquin a few years ago. A greener kind of pig, but yet still has the right kind of proportions in terms of look and feature. I love his hip and hind leg. I really enjoy to watch that 60 get out and cat around. 60 the calico, no difference. I think you put a belt on that pig, and it's even closer amongst the two mates which one's a guy's going to take. I really like the 61 pig, though. He's maybe a shot more attractive in terms of his front 1/3. He's wide coming and going and still a shapely kind of pig. A good pair of mates there. A lot 62, the mud stunky pig. I like that pig a good deal. I think one you can set on and get a lot of things done with. Set on him and get him in there the 1st of August. CYE or shoot even later in life. I think you can get him the middle of August, no problem. I think that pig's got a high ceiling. That lot 62. Again, these are lots 60, 61, and 62.
This is lot 15 and 16 that just came in here. And this 16 is the black-headed one with the black kind of target butt there that Palin's got. And then 15 is the more traditional belt there that Alea's got. Real nice pair of barrows here. This 16 that Palin's got is a hang-tight American Spirit. And then Alea's got a pass-out Sunrise barrow. Pass-out's board Tim Heron's got there that is out of some of that good TKO stuff. Same kind of pedigree there that Alibi's it has also is another sire of this set. And again, that'd be the sire side there on Alea's, which is lot 15. Just a very good pattern kind of a barrow. You like his lateness and maturity. He's got a really good hind leg working in him, and at the same time, he's good and sharp above his, in front of his blade. Just going to be a really nice barrow. It kind of feed right into a mid-July kind of time frame, or a later July as well. Probably be a HAMP classifying kind of deal also, and we think just a real nice project. This 16 was another one I was really high on, this black-headed pig that Palin's got. Skeleton-wise, again, he's sired by Hang Tight. Skeleton-wise, he's really stout. He's up on his toes. You get in behind him, his hock reads like he's just going to be one you can feed on, and he's going to stay together really good. We like him a really good deal, and I thought one of out of these kind of mid-sized pigs in the set, one of the very better barrows, or one of the first ones that I'd try to feed on. Again, that's lot 16. Love his skull also, and for as stout as what his skull is, he's got a really sharp, good looking, front end ahead of his blade also. So again, 15 would be the blackhead target butted one, and 16 is, and then 15 is the belt.
Yeah, a good pair of them here that we're going to sell at the beginning of the sale. 16, definitely one that catches your eye. A good color pattern, in my opinion, doesn't bother me none. I like a good blackhead. I'll feed quite a few of those a year. That thing has got a ginormous forearm and a good chest working in him. I love his skull and love his extension up front. Reaches and hinges and bend out of his hind leg really good. I dig that 16 a good deal. The 15 pig, honestly, today is probably not as big-bodied or as shapely as he was yesterday. We went through him. I think he needs to get back there and get on that feeder and come on a little bit more this evening and be ready for the previews for the folks to see him tomorrow. That pig, though, I think is very nice in terms of his back shape and how crisp he is up high. He's attractive about his skull and his front 1/3. He's square enough coming and going away. I think that pig definitely has a chance come August. Again, these are lots 15 and 16.
Real fun pair here, and a pair I've been waiting and looking forward to getting in the ring here. This is 14 and 39, and these two are litter mates. They are sired by Hang Tight, back on a Savage sow that we call Nemo, that is obviously a blue sow. Very excited about this pair. Again, they are 14 and 39. They're litter mates. They just look like show barrels that can go out and win, for at least in my eyes. They're stout skulled. They're really good skeleton. They just are stout kind of everywhere. They're built really, really good at the ground. Their hip and hind leg works really good. Their frame size, proportions, and just look from the side. They just look like stout barrows that you'd see at the in the Grand Drive at a big show. Again, 14 would be the belt. 39 would be the blue mass pig, and I would say, if you're wanting a light cross division pig, whether it be for CYE or just on the jackpot circuit here this summer, maybe you're wanting to go to a bigger, show like Stanislaus County Fair or Sonoma County Fair, get in on that 39. Extremely confident in him. I've kicked these pigs out several times here the last 2 days. And every time we get to this pen, I fall in love with this pair of barrows. 14 there, I think, is has this chance to be as good as perhaps anything in the set. He is selling intact. You can see that. There's only a couple this time, and it's noted on the sales sheet there. He's a pig we honestly thought could potentially be a boar. We'll sell him that way, and if you want him castrated, we're happy to do that for you at no cost at all also. So real high on this pair. Again, they are 14 and 39, hang tights, and just extremely good.
Yeah, real fun pair, 14 and 39. 14, the belted pig, very, very sharp looking. I love his head. The hip and hind leg reaches and bends extremely good. I think that pig definitely has a big window of show ahead of him. I think he's going to be extremely competitive in the darks come August. I don't think it's out of the question. The right July setting as well on that pig. I think he fits the bill quite well. Blue Pig 39 has been a favorite of mine since the beginning of time. I like that pig real good. I love his head. I love his look. I love his proportions from the side. He's stout. His hip and hind leg reaches and bends extremely good. He plants with, I feel, the appropriate amount of width behind and still being correct and square in his hock. I definitely think a barrow that definitely has a high ceiling. These are lots 14 and 39.
These next three in are 17, 18, and 42. And 17 and 18 would be mates. They're quite frankly Sunrise 57.5 pigs. And we're glad we got a litter of Quite Frankly's in here before he was done. Quite frankly, was a very, very influential boar that we actually have a couple of our very best sows are sired by Quite Frankly. And then his littermate brother was called No Stranger that did a great job for us also. And so a couple of our better sows are sired by No Stranger as well. So, again, those two would be lots 17 and 18. They are the two with the white rear legs. The male with the non-white rear legs would be lot 42. So, again, 17 and 18. 18 is closer to the camera now that Palin's kind of got there. 17, if you're watching on the camera there or on the screen there, 17 is he's now in front. That Harley in the blue shirt with the white shoes is showing there. So Quite Frankly Sunrise, really neat pair of them. We've been high on them this whole time. They're moderate frame, and they've got a lot of muscle in them, and they've got a beautiful head on them. They just look like kind of barrows, again, that's just going to feed, and their frame size, their proportions, their maturity. Just this is the kind that gets big things done. Definitely probably August kind of time frame for them being ready to roll, but pretty high on them. And then again, this 42 over here is another one of those deep water pigs we use there at Kurt Morgan's. Real moderate framed, real big chested and round ribbed. He's a barrow that I think is going to be one that probably feeds a little bit slower. If you've got a middle August kind of time frame, is probably ideal for him. But he's got a lot of power. He's one that's only going to continue to get better. Neat pig there also. That's 42.
Yeah, the Quite Frankly pair, the 29 litter, 17 and 18 is their lot numbers. Those two, I've been big fans of those from the get, and maybe it's just because they're out of Quite Frankly, I got a lot of faith in those hogs. I like the 17 pig a good deal, and nothing to take away from 18. I think both of those pigs got a big window ahead of them. I think August is where they fit best. Definitely a pair of them, I think, to look into if you're searching for that setting. The 42 pig there in the corner, Carter's got definitely a pig I think needs to show into that later window of mid-August and shoot maybe even one you take home and you neglect him for just a little bit, and I think you take him on even later than August need be. But 42 is definitely no shortage of muscle and power, width as well. Definitely a stout-made kind of pig. Again, these are lots 17, 18, and 42. That's a boy pig and that's a girl pig. It's not the right pig there. No? Okay.
We have a group of 40, 41, and 43.
40, 41, and 43. So this one doesn't go.
Which one is that?
These next three coming in here are 40, 41, and 43. And of this pen here in the middle of the barn, I know folks online are not here, but these are just the biggest ones in this pen. We kind of grouped them together that way. They're easier to look at this way, you know, they'll at least the 40, 41 there will sell choice. So 40 and 41, 40 is the bigger belted barrel there that Carter's got. We'll see if we can get you a look at him. And then 41 would... Okay, Carter's got 41, so he's there. Camera should be kind of focusing on him. He's in the background now. Then 40's right in front of him that Alea's got there. He's got a little more paint on his side. 40, 41 are both started by that deep water bore that we use there at Kurt Morgan's, real hard to set. And they're bigger frame pigs, and they've got a lot of muscle. And we think for those guys looking for this mid-July time frame, these guys are absolutely ideal. They're going to be wide skeleton pigs. They're going to feed and have plenty of muscle and be easy pigs to manage. Again, the one that Carter's got would be 41, and he probably is the bigger muscled, bigger chested one of the two of them. This one that Alea's got, that's got a little more paint on his side, is lot 40. He'd be one that could probably be fed a little harder, and he could probably even feed into an earlier July or even a June setting. I know we've got a lot of folks still looking for some June fair pigs. That guy fit the bill really well. You know, I know a lot of folks want to go to that Kootenai bred and fed this year. That pig could be bought for that, be fed hard, and kind of finish there. And he'd give you a good chance to get in the sale. This other barrel here is lot 43 that Palin's got. That's the thin belt. He's a really neat pig and one that's kind of been on my short list. He's also a deep water on a rowdy rebound sow. Really like his proportions. He's a thick-made barrel. He's got a big, beautiful skull in him. He's got a big, beautiful chest in him. Just looks like the kind of barrel that you'd see at the top end of a show. He's going to class as a hamp, so on the jackpot circuit, or if he goes to a CYE type of show, it'd be a hamp appearing kind of pig there. Real high on him. Every time we kick out this pen, he's in that very kind of top end list of the ones that I like, and not to say I don't like these other two, because I do, but I think that guy, unlike these other two out here, he could probably go to a later show in early August or middle of July and be really impressive. And again, that's lot 43, deep water barrel.
Lot 43, the deep water, and I was singing a song earlier, and it definitely was not the lyrics, but I replaced it with deep water. I really like this pig here. I think he's extremely attractive in terms of his front 1/3. I think he's real practical in terms of his build, real shapely kind of animal that's correct and square off both ends of his skeleton, and he's going to be just blessed with immense hair when it's all said and done. I think you could feed him a notch slower and be better off in the end. I dig that lot 43 a good deal. The other two, 40 and 41, the two other deep watered separate, but they're litter mates. They're different, they're type and kind, a little taller, longer outline kind of pigs. I believe Carter's dancing with 40 over there. He comes with a shot more muscle and width today. I think one you can manage a tick easier in terms of setting on him and bringing him on slower. 41 that Alea's got, I think you can definitely lay the bucket to that one. Oh, sorry, I messed up on my numbers. Carter's got 41. The thicker one, I think you could feed slower. Alea's 40. I think you can bring that one on a little harder, more aggressive, get him shown in June. A good trio of deep water pigs, 40, 41, and 43.
Sorry, no pizza for you, garbage guy.
These next two coming in look really good out here. This is 47 and 55. And we're into a gilt pen now, as you can see. So 47 would be the calico gilt. 55 would be the belted gilt. 47's a mate to those buckle-up barrows that we showed you a little earlier. That pair of mates, one's a calico and one's a belt. And she's very similar in terms of her design and her pattern from the side. This is Dustin's little friend. As we were looking at pigs here the last 2 days, kick out the pen, and she's the one that's right on you, chewing on him, and she's just a very gregarious kind of an animal. Not that matters to folks, but maybe it does. She's a neat pig. I think that that maturity and that look that she has from the side that we talked about in her brothers is going to lend to a pig that feeds really well, and it seems a lot of folks are always asking about barrows and what's the best barrow to buy. Don't be afraid of a gilt like this. We actually probably win more fairs every year out here with gilts than we do with barrows, from the simple fact that the gilts are more affordable. We can get them to folks, that have good homes and give them a chance to win. Pig like that fits the bill really, really well for someone who may want a high-end barrow, and those high-end barrows just bring too much. Don't be afraid of a pig like this. She'll get a lot of things done for you. Her skeleton's really good. She's up on her toes. She's white-chested. Her maturity pattern's right on the money. Like her a really good deal. And then 55's the belt. That's another one of those deep water gilts. She's a big muscled pig. She's bigger framed, just bigger outlined in general. But she's got, the genuine width and muscularity to go with it to enable her to be successful. That'd be another one that fit that Jackson County Fair really, really well, where, you're not supposed to feed Paline. She's going to not need any of that. She's going to have a lot of muscle. She's going to be wide coming and going. At the same time, she's got, good build to go with it. She's up on her toes. She's squaring her hock. We like this pig a good deal also, and she would be 47 or 55.
Yeah, 47, the Calico. I said, Nancy, stop your honking. She'd walk up and honk at me. That's my buddy, Pocket Pet there. Definitely going to be one that's going to be a fun project for someone. Just a great mind on that little pig. Aside from that, quality-wise, that gilt's very, very nice. She's good looking about her head. We have a lot of confidence in her mate brothers. I have the same amount of confidence in that Calico gilt. Lay the smoke to her, let her roll. I think that Calico gilt's awfully special. The bigger gilt Carter's got, I think definitely fits that Jackson County setting there, and I believe that's the second or third week of August. The No Paline show. She's rolled up in terms of back shape, plenty of width coming and going. Definitely one I think fits that bill quite well, regardless who our judge ends up being for that. She should surface and find her way to the top. Again, that's lot 47, the Calico, 55, the belt.
These next three are 19, 48, and 53. And Palin, which one have you got there? You've got 48. So Palin's got 48. That's the wide belted gilt with the little kind of spot on her left side in her belt. And then, and that would be that 48 there that Palin's got is a hang-tied American Spirit. She's actually a mate to that lot 16 barrow that we're real high on and showed you earlier. And then Carter has got 19, correct, Carter? Which is a hang-tight Savage, and she'd be a mate to lot 39 and lot 14 barrows that we're also really high on. And then the other one is 53. And that's the one that Alea's got there. That'd be the thin-belted gilt. That'd be a pass-out Sunrise. So, again, we've got 19, 48, and 53 in here. Real nice trio. To be honest, we've got a lot of really, really good gilt options. And like I said earlier, I sure wouldn't be afraid to lay in a gilt or buy in a gilt. Especially if you're in the market for a fair animal or a jackpot pig that you can make into a fair animal. These gilts are going to get a lot done, and don't get me wrong, I love to feed barrows as much as anybody, but these gilts, are typically a little better value on the dollar. For example, this 19 here that Carter's got, her two brothers are really good, and I hope we have a good sale tomorrow, and if they sell well, and you want one of them, but you're going to a July fair or an early August fair, give this gilt a try. She's got the same pattern. She's tall-fronted. She's short-bodied. She probably actually could feed a little slower than her two mate brothers, but that the same kind of qualities there. And I promise you, these judges don't care. They're going to pick the best animal, and a lot of times that is a gilt at these shows. So again, Carter's got that 19. That's that hang-tight gilt. Really, really high on her. Those other two gilts, the young ladies are doing a good job driving here for you. A little bit later in their maturity patterns, upright on their pasterns, good and square in terms of their hock placement. Don't be scared of these girls.
Yeah, nice trio of them here. The 19 gilt, mate to those real good barrows. I agree with Russ 100%. Bring her on a tick slower. She's probably a little better looking in terms of her front 1/3 than her mates, but that gilt I think has a special place in life on where she's going to end up someday. Big green gilt later on, a fun jackpot kind of gilt. I think that one's really, really well. 53, the thin belt there, Leia's got trotting across there. That gilt's probably the greenest amongst this trio in terms of muscle. Body cavity looks to be coming in real nice, square off both ends of her skeleton, hip and hind leg reaches and bends real good. Practical, easy feeding kind of gilt to lay the smoke to that one and get her going. The wider belted gilt there, I believe that's 48, right? Yeah, she's a litter mate to the black-headed 16. Really resembles that pig in terms of width coming and going, muscle shape, and just rolled up over the top side of her skeleton. Look up front and skull. You can really see the resemblance in those two litter mates. Definitely a fun trio here. Lots 19, 48, and 53.
We're about 3/4 of the way through the preview. We've got, I think, 94 head in the sale. We've got a really good job, a really good group of kids here. They're doing a good job. We appreciate their help. These next three coming in are 20, 51, and 50. These kids are doing great. So these gilts, again, are 20, 51, and 50. And I'm sitting at the table where I cannot see these pigs, so as soon as I can, I'll start telling you exactly which one's what. I think Palin's got 20. So Palin with the Nike Dunks has got 20. I guess we got two with Nike Dunks in here, though, I just noticed. So Palin's 20 there, has the belt in the middle of her, kind of in the middle of her side. The camera's on her now. Again, that pig is sired by Pass Out. That's that Tim Herrenboer. Neat little pig. Really, honestly liked her quite a bit, and that's why we kind of slid her a little higher in the sale order. And she may be the, of the top 20 or so, or the first 20 that'll sell. She may be the smallest and greenest in her muscle pattern. But look at just how stout that gilt is in terms of her bone work. She's a really neat fronted gilt that when she gets out and goes, she patterns great from the side. She's, long from her blade forward. She's got a really nice, beautiful hip blade in her. We think that one has a really bright future, especially, with that neat color pattern that she's kind of got there, especially on her side. Again, these other two are 50 and 51. Those are the Quite Frankly gilts, I believe, or at least 50 is. 50's Quite Frankly. Okay, 51 I can see out here now that Leia's got. That would be the Alibi gilt. Showed you a mate brother to her a little earlier. And these two are honestly, they're just greener in their muscle pattern, especially this little Alibi. She's been one that Dustin's always kind of keyed in on here the last few days. Just good-bodied, has a real big hind leg when you get in behind her. Just real nice little gilt. Feed into an early August kind of time frame. The Quite Frankly's got a little more muscle to her when you get right in behind her. Again, that's Carter's gilt there. That's lot 50. She has a white tail there in the video. She's a mate. We showed you her two mate Quite Frankly barrows earlier that were pretty high on also. So little different type and kind there on the three of them here, but we think lots of future. 20, 51, and 50.
Yeah, the 20 gilt, she's awfully fun when she gets out and cats around and you watch that thing get out and move. I really appreciate how long and level she is out of her hip. She's stout about her tail. She's going to be stout about her bone work. She is already, but she's going to get stouter with time. I love her look up front. I love her skull. I think that 20 is going to be a real neat rig when it's all said and done later on down the road. Yeah, the 51, no doubt. I've keyed into that one. She's skinny. She's green. Don't let her top line discourage you. She's big. big-legged, square off both ends of her skeleton. I got a hunch on that one. Take a chance on that pig and feed her. I think that 50 is going to be really special when it's all said and done in the end. Those Alibi pigs seem to be getting along very, very well. The most recent success that I know of the Alibi pig had the champion middleweight there at Denver that they strikers fed out of that Alibi boar, and that pig looked incredible on the screen. I didn't get to see him, but that gives me a lot of thought process behind that Alibi gilt having the same kind of proportions and look and stoutness of feature. I like that 51 a good deal. The Quite Frankly pig 50, we seen her mate Barrows. I'm juiced up on both of those. She herself might be one of the last Quite Frankly gilts you're going to get, and I said it earlier on a pair of calicos. If you're looking in for a gilt to show and then want to have resale value in the end, definitely one of the last Quite Franklys you're going to get, and you're going to look awfully smart getting a gilt that's got a couple littermate barrows that have big opportunity to hang some banners. Good chance there in that lot 50. Again, these are lots 20, 50, and 51.
21 and 54 just coming in here. Real nice little pair of gilts. Like I say, if you go to the middle of the barn there, there's a lot to look at in terms of quality, in terms of the size of what these gilts are here. 54 would be the wide-belted gilt, and 21 would be the white-tailed gilt here. Real high on this pair of them out of this particular pen. Again, the 21 would be the white-tailed gilt there. Really like the white-tailed gilt that's started by Leadoff. Really like her. She's kind of been one of the ones I've keyed in on here the last couple days. I just think balance, proportions is really good, and that one's just so versatile. You could buy her and take her to a show in the middle of July. You could buy her, make her a jackpot gilt. You could buy her, take her to CYE or to a Midwest State Fair in August as a big gilt. And she's just good balanced and real proportional. She's a tall fronted gilt that's kind of shorter backed and just, from the sides, very, very attractive. I think that white tail kind of helps her image, to be honest. Just real neat. And at the same time, she's got muscle. She's got width coming at you. She's just a real neat little pig. That's the 21. Then again, the real wide belt there that Palin's got is 54. She's sired by White Flag, boar at Laird's that's had a really, really good run. We like her a good deal too, and she's a later maturing gilt through her center body, but when you get on either end of her, that's another one that's got a lot of muscle, and I think is similar to 21 from the standpoint that you could do a lot of things with her. You could, you could buy her and make her fit as a market hog. You could make her fit as a big gilt for CYE. She'd be a really neat jackpot gilt. Just a neat pig there. Again, if you're kind of struggling, you're getting to the middle of the sale tomorrow, haven't got something bought, that 54 there would be one to key in on, and she's really not going to, screw you up. She's going to be a good pig. She's square built behind. She's up on her toes. Going to give you a chance to win kind of regardless what your goal would be. So, again, these two, 21 is the white tail, and 54 would be the white belt.
Yeah, 21 there, the white-tailed one. She's definitely, I'd say, one of the top enders of the gilts, searching and sifting through here. She's very, very good looking. About her front 1/3, hip and hind leg work's extremely good. She's big and square in her chest. She's adequate in terms of width behind. I like the amount of spread she's got up high as well. Not the boldest and biggest in terms of center body today, but I think with more time and maturity hits her, I think that's definitely going to be to her advantage. I do like that gilt real good, that lot 21. The 9-liter gilt, lot 54, that one I wasn't too sure early on, and kicking her out the last few days, I've grown to find myself quite fond of that gilt. She's really striking about her front end, hip and hind leg reads to be ideal. She is bigger in terms of her center body today compared to 21, and I think that helps her as well as far as look today, but I agree with Russell 100%. If you're struggling middle of the sale tomorrow, and haven't gotten nothing bought, just close your eyes and keep your hand up and run that one till the end. Or even if you're gilt searching, I think both of these gilts fit the bill as well as some of the high-end gilts in the sale. Lot 21 and 54.
Open it, Carter, open it wide. There you go. These next two in are 49 and 52, and 49 would be the blue gilt, blue belted gilt, and then 52 would be the belted gilt, and 52 is a leadoff, different league. We've showed you several leadoff pigs now, and we've been real high on these pigs. And then 49, the blue, would be a Deepwater Absolute 68.5. That Deepwater has done a really good job for us there at Kurtz, and a board that we probably need to use a little bit more. I kind of keyed in on this blue gilt here yesterday. I thought she just was another one that's easy to find based on her color pattern, based on just her proportions from the side. Really, really nice gilt. I'm not sure she gets, as big as early as some of the other ones. I think that one would be a really good one to have for an August fair or, show at a Midwest State Fair like a CYE kind of setting there. But she's really neat for a light cross division kind of gilt especially. She comes with a big hind leg. She comes with a big round rib working in her also. I like her head. She looks like a female. She looks like a gilt that would do really well, in a gilt show type scenario. And she's so good built at the ground. She's loose skeleton. She's up on her toes. She's got a great hip and hind leg. Like her a good deal. The 52, on the other hand, is more of a muscular kind of a gilt. She's got a really big hip and stifle working in her. She got a big old chest, and at the same time, her center body's really good. She's moderate framed, and she'd be more of a market hog kind of gilt, in my opinion. For an early August kind of time frame there. Again, we've been real pleased with those leadoff picks. There's been quite a few of them here this set that have been impressive. So like her a good deal. That'd be 52 again, the belt, and then 49 is the blue belt.
Yeah, real fun pair of them here. 49 blue has been easy to find, as Russ mentioned. Her color pattern's extremely good. There's a lot of good in that blue gilt light cross classifier. 49 there, big legs that get out and move properly, and she's big chested. That gilt I think's got a pretty high ceiling. In my opinion, one of the very best light cross gilts, and we're probably more heavy so on the upper end of light cross gilts. I think the handful we have in here in this sale are extremely elite, and this one I think rivals a few of those other better ones we've seen earlier in this preview. I think that gilt is very, very good. The belted gilt there, 52 I believe is who that is. We've seen her white-tailed sister in the pen before, and you can kind of see the differences in there. That white-tailed gilt was a little taller, longer, not as heavy muscled, whereas this gilt is on the opposite. She's a little more moderate and brings a little more muscle to the table. I definitely think use that to your advantage. You Jackson County people, someone's got to win the lightweights as well, as my philosophy and thought process on that one. Maybe take that one home and feed her for that setting as well. I think you're going to get along extremely good. Again, this is lot 49 and 52.
Good time to pay attention here. We've shifted gears, as you can see, size-wise. This is 2 and 10. These two have their own pen here in this chip barn that's next to the sale barn here. And these two are pretty special in our opinion. This 2 is the one that Palin's got. Palin, if you're watching the deal, it probably can't tell who's driving. Palin's got the Nike Dunks on. Oh, they both do again. Gosh darn it. And then 10 would be the one that Alea's got. So 10's wider belted, twos, the thinner belted with the white rear legs. They have a different pedigree. So we showed you twos brothers earlier. Those were lots 3 and 4. They'll sell choice tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll put all 3 in the ring, and the high bidder will get to choose the one they like. 2 here sells intact. He's one of, I believe there's only 3 in the sale that are selling intact. Honestly, we just left him that way because we thought there'd be some boar stud interest. Absolutely love this pig. He would be a promotion Judgment Day. So that Judgment Day sow we bought from Stolquist 2 years ago with Hunter Linghoff. Hunter had a family show in the Midwest, and she won quite a bit at jackpots, goes to the exposition and her state fair, gets pieces of divisions, and we had people blowing our phone up all summer wanting to buy that gilt from us. That's what the mom of this pig is. Again, sire's promotion there at Upper Hand was a boar I realized last summer when I went to Indiana that we needed to use. Used him for this set of pigs, and then he died. So there's not much left out of that promotion deal, or I guess I should say this is about the last you can get out of promotion. But easy to see how special this pig is. You know, he can show in July, he can show in August, he can show at a boar stud open house. He's a neat animal. Really, really high on him. That's lot 2. Then lot 10 over here that Alea's got's a little different story. That's a Pathfinder, Last Dance 53-7. His mom would be my very favorite sow on the farm. We actually sold his mates in the last sale. We leased a mate gilt. That was the first choice. We did a choice of lease gilts last sale, and she sold as the first choice. She was blue. And then we just had this guy. He was honestly, he was smaller than his mates. He was kind of skinny in the back. We were going through pigs a couple weeks ago and said, hey, we've got to throw this pig in the sale. He looks really good. Really like this pig. Again, his sire is Pathfinder. That's the other boar I realized last summer in Indiana we needed to use. Then we used him, and then he died. I don't know if him and promotion died on the same day or what, but that'd be another chance at an animal out of a boar that was really good that they lost early. Really like him. His pattern is good. He's a bigger framed animal than what 2 is here. He's good on his feet and toes. You get in behind him, he's square. He's up on his pasterns up front. Just a really, really good barrow. He can absolutely show in August. I think, in July, that pig's awesome also. Neat pair here. I'm sorry to be long-winded. I just really like these 2.
Yeah, and I think it's appropriate to be long-winded on this pair. The 2 pig, I don't know, Palin's going to have him whip broke too. Tack another 1,000 on that bill. Let's go. She's got him whip broke here for you, and that pig is extremely good. He's good in his chest, his hip and hind leg reaches and bends appropriately. I love his skull and his look from the side. He proportions extremely well. Going to be a moderate kind of barrow. Use that to your advantage. I think that pig's going to have a lot of shelf life when it's all said and done. You know, you can show him all summer long and jackpot him and be successful and get him there on the end point. I do think he fits the bill of August quite well, and to be a good big one. I know my market up there in Oregon. Looking here on these pigs, I think those things are extremely good. I do like this pig a good deal, and his mates as well. Like I said, it would be neat to get all 3 of those in one setting together, and we could really pick and choose and see which one is the best one or which one suits you best. I dig that lot 2 a good deal. The lot 10 pig, like Russ said, we found him and we said we got to put this pig in the sale. That litter was extremely good out of a great sow. I think you just got to have confidence that pig's just going to feed as good as his litter mate sisters and brothers were last month. I think that pig's got an indefinite chance. He's big-legged and stout. I think you can bring him on a little slower. I don't think it's out of the question to show him in July. I think you can get him to August quite easy. I think a pig that's got a special place in life. Again, these are lots 2 and lot 10.
We're missing a pig. Donde estás?
Hey, bring that one too.
Bring that one too. Oh, really?
What about 7? He's not on my list though. Bring that one.
Seven's right over here.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Okay, so we've got 8 and 9 that have just came in here, and again we've shifted to these slightly bigger size pigs here in this set. We're real high on this pair of barrows. These guys are sired by Still Standing, who is a wide awake boar there at Top Cut that is extremely good. And this litter's been real strong. There's actually another mate, lot 7, that we'll show you here in a little bit. But again, these two are 8 and 9. Sire Still Standing back on a Rowdy Rebound sow. 9 would be the barrow there that Carter's got with the belt in the middle of his back. And then 8 be the thicker one there that Palin's showing you, the kind of wider belted barrow. So 9, we need to tell you, we've had a handful of them in this sale that we've done a surgery on already. We have a new vet. He just came Tuesday, and this 9 pig was one of our very favorites in the whole set, and he had a little hernia in front of his sheath. And so our new vet, Nate, fixed him on Tuesday. And as you can see, there's still a little swelling there on his sheath. But Nate did a phenomenal job. Dustin was actually enthralled with this surgery, watched him do it. And we've kept him alone. He's been in a pen by himself. He'll go back in the pen by himself tonight, and that's just, we're kind of trying to manage that, making sure that he comes out of it. But as you can see, it's going to look pretty good. We will obviously guarantee the pig if you buy him and something happens, but, just be upfront about that. 8 has had no surgeries. He's the pig that's bigger here, slightly bigger, I should say. That's on the backside. But these two, I wish we could get them to show off. Just kind of slow down with them best you can there, Carter. Maybe they can follow something for you. Again, 8's on the backside there. Sire's Still Standing. We think these pigs are really neat. They're real thick. They got a lot of muscle. Their width at the ground is great. They're up on their toes. Their feet and just legs and squareness of build is awesome. And they can absolutely fit a July or an August time frame really, really well. They're big enough to go to June, but honestly, we see them fitting kind of later. We think these two can be as good as anything in the entire set. We'll try to slow them down here and give you a good look. Palin's coming at us here with 8. 8 would be probably, in my opinion, the boldest ribbed of the 3 mates, and we'll show you 7 again here in a little bit. We're pretty high on this 8. 9 that Carter's got, and again, that's our surgery pig. He's probably an in-betweener. The 7 is probably the best looking, or I shouldn't say the best looking, but he's the one that's got a lot of look and maybe isn't as thick. The 8's the real thick one, and the 9's kind of the in-betweener. But just look at their skulls, look at their bone work, look at how stout they are, look at how immaculate their chest is, and just how good their toes are. And if you look at their rear toes on these pigs, they're huge. They're big and they're square, and they got big toes on them, and that just tells me these pigs are going to be feeding pigs that are going to just only get stouter. Again, we're really, really high on this pair. Wish we could get you a little better video. We're working on it here and just kind of trying to take time to show you, and I'll let Dustin commentate. But again, 8 and 9, really, really high on this pair.
Yeah, I think the sire here, the name of that boar, it reiterates what we think these pigs are going to do for you in the end. I bet a good chunk of coin that you're still going to be standing when it's all said and done at a pig show if you were to tie into one of these 3 mates. Now, these 2 in the ring, there's no question the 8, he is the densest in terms of muscle today. Definitely one I think a guy can feed for a long time. I think a lot of shelf life on that pig. I definitely think, if you want to bring him on just a touch slower and get him there into July, like that Jackson County setting, I think that pig would be a hammer for that. I think if you want to set on him and get him to 1st of August, County Fair there, 1st of August, or CYE, something like that, I think he fits the bill extremely well for that. I think 8 is just the epiphany of a show barrow, and I think he fits that wheelhouse quite well. The 9 pig is a little greener in terms of muscle. of his mates, but I don't think that hurts nor hinders him one bit. It was absolutely cool watching Nate fix the surgeries on all those pigs. I was able to help him that day and be kind of hands-on and watch him do those surgeries, and the way he was able to get that pig buttoned up looks extremely well. I've been trying to baby him around the last few days and checking on him quite often, make sure everything's perfect. It looks extremely good. You couldn't tell he had that kind of surgery. Cosmetic came out extremely good. I wouldn't let that bother you one bit. The 9 pig, though, I think is one that a guy can tie into and get along with quite well there later in July or 1st August. A good pair of them, 8 and 9. We'll show you 7 here in just a bit.
Here's the big one. This would be 44, 45, and 46, and 45 is that biggest pig that we have in the sale. We honestly kind of had these guys, or that guy laying around and thought, you know what, we probably better, have some bigger options for some folks, because there are folks looking for June Fair pigs here in the sale. So again, 44, 45, 46. The big guys, 45. 46 is the blackhead, and then 44 is the one that Carter's got over there. So 44 Carters would be sired by different league 48. Nope, that's not right. I'm sorry. Aleas, the blackhead, would be sired by different league 48. That's lot 46. He's out of 56 litter. That is extremely deep. We'll show you a few more of them here in a little bit. Well, in the pens to come here. But that 56 litter is really strong. Again, that's lot 48. That 46 out of different league 48. That Alea's got for you there. The 45 pig, the big one that Palin's got, would be a pile driver outbreak, actually out of Heavyweights Mom. Sire pile driver at top cut. That pig just needs to slow down. He looks like a big pig that's real heavy muscled. Honestly, he's in this chip barn. It's warm in there. They're on sale burst. Take that pig home, slow him down for a couple weeks, and that's a totally different animal. Absolutely a really, really nice fair animal for a June fair setting. And I know there's a lot of folks looking for those pigs. He'd fit that Kootenai Classic really, really well. He'd fit the Colusa County Fair, San Joaquin County Fair. Any of these June fair settings here, that pig fits absolutely really well. And then 44 that Carter's got over there, that's a mate actually to the big guy, would be a pile driver outbreak. Really like a lot of things about that pig. That was another one of the surgeries, was it not, Dustin? Yeah. So 44 is the third animal. I think we have one more to show you that had surgery on Tuesday. He was a one nutter. Like I say, that's real standard in the industry. People will sell them that way. We're one of the few firms that did it. We just had our vet come Tuesday. We thought, you know what, we'd get this taken care of. So that's already done. You don't have to do anything to him. We're taking good care of him. It's essentially, he's a one nutter, so they've pulled a nut out of his flank. But neat pig here. He's obviously the latest maturing of the three of them, but there's going to be a lot of future in him. So that's 44.
Yeah, a good trio of them with some differences. The 44 pig, I would definitely say right now doesn't look as big and robust in his center body as he has. We've kind of been limited in feed on that guy just after his surgery per Dr. Nate's orders. But I have plenty of confidence in that pig. He's going to feed the 44 here, this kind of cool marked, weirder wild belted one. Pig reads to have a good skeleton and a lot of muscle shape and a good looking front 1/3 to him. I definitely think, a June setting fits well. Definitely not out of the question to get that one to July. I think he fits that bill quite well. The blackhead 46, definitely not a shortage in terms of muscle shape and back spread. I think that pig fits quite a good bill, get him to June. Definitely think one you can take home and set on him and do a lot of things in terms of management and get him where you need him to go out of a really good litter of pigs that I got a lot of faith in. The big guy here, he'd be 45. Yeah, big guy 45, definitely the pound's heaviest pig in the sale. Definitely think he fits one of those June settings. You June folks still looking in, you need a last minute expo deal or a Colusa County Fair, want to go to Kootenai. I think he fits the bill the best there. That pig's got a lot of shape and a lot of power and a striking front end. You know, I think that animal's got a special place for someone in the month of June. Good trio of pigs here, lots 44, 45, and 46.
These next two coming in, we've shifted to a gilt pen, are 87 and 88. Palin has got 88, which is closer to the camera. She's the one on the right side. And then Alea's got 87 there. Both kind of hamp mark gilts. And these are pigs I sure wouldn't be afraid of. These are bigger gilts that have got a lot of muscle. And these gilts are going to get some stuff done here. Again, they're 87 and 88. 87, which is Alea's, the slightly darker pigmented gilt, would be a mate to 7, 8, and 9 there. Those males were really high on. She's a still standing ready rebound. That still standing is a board top cut. Obviously is doing a very good job. Then 88 there looks very, these two look like sisters. They're not. 88 is sired by a Midnight Hammer there, also a top cut that Palin's got. These two will sell choice tomorrow. A high bidder will get to choose which one they want. Both of them just real thick kind of pigs. You know, that Jackson County Fair mid-July, these fit absolutely perfect. These are thick gilts. These are gilts that, you know, are never going to really need to be fed very hard. They're not going to need any paling. They're gilts that can just be, you know, managed kind of slowly. They're going to be thick. They're honestly going to look better when they get out of this barn and out of the heat and just slow down just a little. But we really like them. They're, you know, study their feet and legs again. There's no issues here. They're up on their toes. They're square in their hock. Both of them, you know, for the kind of muscle that they've got, you can tell they're never going to get bowie-legged. They're never going to really have issues there. They just need a little time, and these two can get a lot of stuff done. So 87 and 88.
Yeah, these two gilts come out of probably the deepest, one of the deeper male heavy litters in this deal. Some gilts, though, that come with a shot more power than those males do as well. I think you get these things home, set them down, and manage them properly and shut them down for a while. You're never going to have a shortage of muscle with these two. There's plenty of width there, and look up front's real good. Get them home and get them cranked down. You know, even if you want to go to that June setting, I think you can still be manageable and be big there. I don't think it's out of the question for a couple of these to get held on to and sucked back real hard and make July as well. A couple of nice gilts here, 88 and 87.
'90 and 92 just came in. We're still on a gilt pin here. So 90 is Alea. Do you have 90? Yeah, Alea's got 90. So that's the smaller gilt here that's closest to the camera. And then Palin's got 92. Alea's is a mate to the paler colored one out of the last group there. Would be a Midnight Hammer. And then Palin's 92 is non-mate, but also out of Midnight Hammer. She'd be Midnight Hammer Toy Story. Big, nice pair here. You know, these two gilts, again, are lower in the sale and are later in the sale. And we left a lot of these, you know, that way intentionally, you know, because we know there's a lot of folks here looking for July Fair picks tomorrow. These are awesome options. You know, as you get lower in the sale, and if you haven't got one bought, there's a ton of muscle in these gilts. These gilts are just good pattern, really good legged. You know, again, the kind that you're not going to make a mistake with. And you're going to be better off, you know, bidding on one of these gilts, you know, than just randomly getting something. You know, these are very nice gilts that can get something done in July. You know, they could easily probably go to August if you wanted them to, but I'd see them kind of finishing at a July time frame. 90 again is the slightly smaller one there that Alea's got. Really like her. I think her balance is really good. Her proportions are good. 92 there, Palin's got, looks a little heavier eared than she is, but I promise you, you get a showman on her, get that one whip broke, you know, that's not going to be an issue there. And again, you're never going to run out of muscle here. So again, 90 and 92.
Yeah, these couple of gilts here definitely going to be some easy feeding kind. Got a good amount of length of body to them and good looking up front. Get them home, get them tan, and throw some hair stuff out. I'm a little short on hair. These two gilts, though, June setting for sure here on both of these, 90 and 92. Manhandle it. Good work, Palin. Grady's drinking beer.
89 and 91 coming in here, and 91 comes in first, and then 89's the darker pigmented one. 89's another mate here. We've shown you 3 of these Midnight Hammer 53 litter pigs now. Again, Midnight Hammer Tarantino's pedigree there, and then 91 would be the 56 litter gilt, different league 48. Really like that litter. That 56 litter is one of our deeper in the entire set, and again, that different league 48 we've got as much faith in as probably any sire that we've used this season. He's sired many of our better ones throughout the last 2 sales, and once again here in sale number 3. Again, this 91 is the kind of a little bit paler skin to the 2 of them here. Different league 48 gilt. Just really like her pattern. You get that one going and view her from the side. Just a no holes kind of gilt. If you're looking for a June Fair animal here that can win, and I know a lot of folks out there still are, key in here on this gilt. Again, that would be 91. Don't be afraid of this 89 over here either, though. She's right under the camera. Leia's going to kind of get her going for us. That's the still standing gilt. She's really attractively colored. She's a big muscled gilt, and again, I'd sure steer her towards some of these guys with these mid-July shows. There's going to be a lot of muscle in this gilt. She's one to bring a little bit slower, but sure like her a good deal too. So 89.91.
89 here, the cool marked one, like Russ said, definitely not a shortage of muscle and power. I think you use that to your advantage as far as feed window goes. She's got plenty of width to her. Use that muscle to your advantage and then get her set in at a big heavyweight there in the middle of July. Definitely out of the question. June, the 91, you'll get her home, get her tan. Her skeleton's really good, balances well from the side, proportions up nicely. I definitely think a gilt, though, that has a chance there come June. Lay the bucket to her, let the smoke roll. A nice pair of gilts here. 89 and 91. '81, '82, '83, just coming in here.
So we just showed you a 56 litter gilt, and I told you how deep that litter was. And if you were scratching your head, it's because we hadn't showed you these these 3 mate barrows rather. So these 3 are all litter mates. Again, they're out of that really deep 56 litter that's started by different league 48. Really neat trio here, and I would encourage you to study them. We'll try to take our time and tell you which ones are which on the screen here. So 83 is Harley with the white shoes there. The screen's kind of following him right now. He's the smallest of these 3 in here weight-wise. Again, that is 83. Really like that barrow. He's probably the latest maturing of the 3 of them. Not that any of them are really late maturing. There's a lot of muscle in this pig. He's going to have a lot of just natural thickness when it's all said and done. Then you've got Carter. He's got the thick one there. What number is that, Carter? 82. Carter's got. Again, he's the big-ended one there. He has got an absolutely beautiful back and center rib, and his upper hip is just ideal. He's got a giant pin set, and there's just as much power as you can pack into that pig there. And he does, when you get in behind him, he does still maintain his hock really square. Like I've told you before here, these pigs are in a warm barn on sale burst, and they need to just chill out a little bit. Protein-wise, I think you take that one home and slow him down, and in 2 weeks, that's a totally different animal. Then this big guy over here that Alea's got, what's his tag number, Leia? 81. That's a neat pig too. I think his pattern is very similar to the smaller guy there, 83. He's another big one, and if you're looking for a pig that can show in June here, guys, you've got to key in on these pigs. These guys can show in June and they can win in June. There's a difference, and it honestly, a lot of June Fair pigs sold last sale. If you're still wanting to buy one that can win, you're already behind. Muscle and maturity wise, they're not muscle wise, but maturity wise, these guys can actually do that. They can buy, or you can buy now and potentially win with these guys in June, whereas others can get you to June but maybe not win. I'd sure watch these. Again, these are 82, 83, and 81.
Yeah, these trio of mates, they've been fun to get out and watch around and look at and study. Some differences amongst the trio, 83 probably being the greenest in terms of center body today when compared to his mate brothers. I definitely think a pig that can fit June quite well. It'll be a big heavy one come middle of July. 81, the more black-headed pig, no question. He fits the June setting. I think he'll be a big one and a good one at that come 1st of June, middle of June, into June. I think he fits that timeline and setting extremely well. The 83, I believe, is the one Carter has. Or 82. 82 is the one Carter has. As Russ mentioned, that thing's back shape and spread up high is absolutely gorgeous. On a pig like this, we were spraying him with water. That stuff would just settle and rotate back in his back shape there. I think that's really something to be admired about this pig, how much muscle and power he's got. And yet he still has a square hock, and he's good in his chest. I think an animal that'd be quite fun to feed. Those July County customers, no paling setting, I think need to look in here. They'll have themselves a real big barrow without a shortage of muscle and power. Use that to your advantage there. Again, these are 81, 82, and 83.
We're nearing the end of the preview, and we appreciate everybody watching. We've got 3 groups here left, and which would mean 6 pigs left to show you. These next 2 coming in are 7 and 84. 7 would be the belted barrow, and 84 would be the kind of more painted barrow there that Alea's got with the white tail. So 7, we showed you his mates a little earlier. They were 8 and 9, and he will sell with them tomorrow. See if you can really slow him down for us, Carter, and get us a really good look at this pig, because this is an important pig to see. This is one of my very favorites in the entire set here, and I would tell you, that 8 and 9, and then if you remember, we showed you their 2 mate sisters as well. There's a lot of just thickness in those pigs. Those pigs are big ribbed. Those pigs are wide skeletoned. They're just really thick. This guy is a mate, and he's the good-looking, long-necked one that's not quite as thick muscle-wise at this stage. But you get in front of him, and his chest is ginormous. You get behind him, his hock is exactly where it needs to be. width-wise and squareness-wise. And it just, to me, gets me really excited about this pig. We're going to try to get you a good look at him. He's a little frightened in here. I don't know why. His attitude's been good for us in the barn. Looks like Carter maybe just scared him with those big old shoes. I don't know. But he's a neat pig. Just have a lot of faith in the way he's going to feed. I think that guy could fit a lot of settings. I think he'd be a really fun jackpot animal. You have to expect it, especially as thick as that litter is and as thick as his sire is there still standing. You have to just expect the stoutness or, the muscle to come there. And I think that pig could potentially be as good as anything in the entire set. And then this other barrel that we've got to show you here is lot 84 with the white tail. He's another one of those Midnight Hammer 53 litter pigs. That's another really stout, really deep litter. Like this guy a good deal too. I'd say key in on him on those July Fair guys, those Jackson County Fair guys. Going to have a lot of muscle. Still has a good pattern. Still feet and toes and squareness of build is on point. So again, 7 and 84.
Yeah, no question. The 7 here. I mentioned we needed to have him in the same pen. I don't know who the guy was that grouped those together. He needs a talking to, which that was me. I should have really put this male pig in the proper pen so we could have seen those 3 mates together and just really see which one was what and then get a good comparison amongst the 3 of them. But I like this 7 pig a good deal. I agree with Russ entirely. He's probably the most striking in terms of his front 1/3. Is he the biggest and most robust today about his upper cage? No, he's not. But I think that you could use that to your advantage, and I think it can be an extremely good jackpot pig this summer. I think you can jackpot hard in the month of May and June, set him down hard and relax on the feed bucket there in July, or even finish him out there in July, and I think you can also get him there the 1st of August, no problem. He'd be a hammer big one. I love his dark pigmented skin. I love the hair he's got working in on him. His legs are big and they bend appropriately. I like that pig a good deal. Black-headed pig 84, definitely no slouch. I like the pig's build and his proportions really good. He's very attractive about his head and his neck. He's big and square in his chest. You July customers look in here. 84 fits your bill. Again, these are lot 7 and 84.
$94 and $30 coming in here, and this first one that's coming in is $94. That'd be another one of them different League 48. She's a 57 litter pig though, so not the same litter as those ones we just showed you. And then this 30 would be a Midnight Hammer Toy Story. This 30 gilt's real neat. 30 would be the second one that kind of came in there. She's wide belted. She's got a white right rear leg there. The camera's zoomed in on 30 right now. Neat pig here. This one here, honestly, for me, when you get in behind her, sets her hock pretty wide. But, again, these pigs here on this sail burst in this warm barn, I think you slow this one down, and she's as neat looking as any, especially on the bigger end of the gilts that we've got to offer. I think that one could be a really fun gilt. If you're looking for a CYE or a state fair kind of a gilt, she'd also certainly fit a July Fair and get you a really good chance to win. No shortage of muscle, but super neat look, and the color pattern is only helpful there. That kind of color pattern gets you very, very far. The 54 there that Carter's got. 94, real thick, real big bodied, big old round rib cage working in her, big old skull, big old chest, absolutely fits, a July or even a June setting there as a market hog. I think you slow this one down, take her home in a couple weeks, get her on some 16. She's going to look a lot different in a couple weeks. But again, that's 54, and then 30 would be the first one.
94 there, the thick one. 94 there, the thicker one there, Russ. 94 gilt, definitely not a shortage of muscle. Get that one home, get her off this potent feed, and get her slowed down. I think she's got a lot of big ring kind of proportions. Also, I think she fits the bill there for that Jackson County mold as well. That no Paline deal. You need a big crossbred gilt to show there. I think she does extremely well for that. The 30 gilt, I'll tell you, the only thing I don't like about that one is that crook in her tail. It doesn't bother me none, but if I could fix it, I think that definitely changes the way she kind of looks from the side. I do like that pink tail gilt a good deal. Her front 1/3 is very, very nice, and she's big and square in her chest, and her center body reach to be true. I really like the way she uses her hip and hind leg, and reach and bends really good, and hock squareness seems to be ideal. I think that gilt's extremely potent, definitely one of the higher end ones in the sale. This is lot 30 and 94.
'95 and '96 are coming in here, and you know, we've done a lot of these previews, and I don't think we have ever had the last two pigs in the sale tomorrow being the last two pigs in the preview. So that was really good planning on our part, and not at all intentional. But these are going to be the last two that come in the ring tomorrow. These are big, thick gilts here, and again, their lots are 95 and 96. Alea's got 96, so she'd be the one there that the camera zoomed in on now. She is a still standing, and then, well, these two are mates, so they're both started by, no, excuse me, they're not mates. 95 would be a different league 48, so that's the one that Carter's got, and then Alea's got the still standing there. That 95 that Carter's showing you there, that's a really, really deep, strong litter. I would sure have a lot of confidence in her. I tell you that, you know, build and design from the side and just muscularity, all on point. There's really no holes there. Be a really, really safe purchase. That 96 Alea's got a lot of muscle in her. She's going to be a really wide skeleton gilt. Again, comes with, you know, good set of feet and legs, and just, you know, we think at the end of the sale here, great options for our customers, and kind of proud to wind up with this pair here. That'll be the last ones through the ring tomorrow.
95 and 96, you know, nice pair of gilts here. Definitely not a shortage of muscle and power that's built into these females here, but yet they still read appropriate in terms of structure and balance. Very attractive about their front ends and mobile out of their hind two. A couple of gilts I think fit the June setting quite well. You want to get into getting them to July. I don't think that's out of the question as well. You know, I think this pair of gilts is going to be a great opportunity for somebody later on in the event tomorrow. And if you struck out all day, I think you got a nice couple options here to end on. So this is going to conclude our preview with lots 95 and 96.
And tomorrow, just to recap here, just give you a little direction. Tomorrow the preview is in person only. It's here at 10 o'clock. So if you're coming tomorrow, I would try my best to be here by 10. I know a lot of folks driving down from Oregon tomorrow. I'd try to leave, you know, by 6 a.m. to get here if you want to see, you know, at least if you're leaving from Southern Oregon around that time frame. Get here by 10. The auction starts at 1, and we've got, like I say, I think there's a few scratches of the 96, so there's like 92 or 93 head. Probably lasts for a couple hours. All of our contacts are listed on the sales site. So there's a number for myself, for Dustin Andrus, for Preston Alberti, for Maya Slay. We've all been through the pigs in depth. Please don't hesitate to text us or call us. Any of us are happy to help you. And, you know, if you need anything beyond questions about the sale as well, just ask. We're here to help. We want to see our pigs succeed. And one other thing I'll throw at you while we're here on the preview, great time also to load up or stock up on your supplies you may need. We've got some feed here. We've also got RP Weighing Technologies here if you're going to be using, you know, Moreflex, Shazam, all those things that we suggest on target. Those heavier things especially, great time to get them bought and save on shipping for later. So that booth is here, and you know, you help yourself also. Any questions, please let us know, and thanks for tuning in.